we're starting. Let's make sure it's... Alright, we are starting. Going to assume this is when I see data going from the stream of the software I get, then that'll show up to... That's when it starts on YouTube. One of these days I'll set aside some time and figure it out. Anyway, this is Nuke Marine presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy course series on Memrise. Currently we are on, or I'm teaching the final parts of course number 3, which is the Remembering the Kanji Optimized Part 1, that has the 555 kanji from Book 1 of the 2001 Kanji Odyssey book series by Coscom, and presents those kanji in Remembering the Kanji order. Idea being then, use these kanjis following up when you start doing your basic grammar, basic vocabulary, and both those parts before learning, you know, about 5 or so more kanji on a later course, in this case course number 8. Let's see, it's Saturday here, it's about 1:20 p.m. Do about 3 hours of this, again do a couple lessons. Tomorrow I'll do a couple lessons, which should leave just Monday as being the for the final lesson of that course. You know, I had went through here. This is the page I created on Kohi forums for documenting the self-study streams that I've been doing, and then of course decided to link to the timestamps when the videos did start. And as you can see, I'm up to lesson 32. Today is going to be lessons 33 and lessons 34, and then those two, then finally 37. And that'll be, I'll decide whether or not, if it ends up I do it on Sunday, end up doing 3 lessons. I doubt it, but it might happen, because I don't know, it seems recently I've been feeling like mentally fatigued by the end of that second lesson. I think it's because I'm getting the first half. When I was first doing these lessons, it was covering kind of like material I'd already taught before. I didn't have to think too much about it. It was you know, again, it was things I had taught on the military base in Japan, or maybe discussed online, you know. And then near the end, like I'm getting the feeling here is like now I'm near the end. It's near the end of the book in Heisig as well, where even he was kind of like, he didn't put any stories at all, and well, you know, we as users kind of had to create a majority of the stories that are used for reviewing the kanji on the website. And again, that can get mentally draining to try to figure out ideas. Like, instead of reciting something you've already thought of, again, you're trying to now be creative, and that's as far as your mind's concerned, that can be taxing. I'll just put it that way. I think you can see that, in, you know, it happens in quite a few things, both in, you know, video games, reading books, or whatnot. Whether or not it's something passive, you can just kind of like not have to think too hard about it, or if it's, you know, again, or if it's something like, okay, you got to invest some time in it. That's probably why things like, you know, high drama can be draining. Is, again, you're investing time and mental energy into it. It's not just it's just not like a, you know, fast food where you just don't think about it, get it in your body, just digest it, no problem. It passes through you. I don't know. I'm not into psychology, or I'm not into psychology or whatnot, and what the actual impacts are. But it is true, though. I mean, being similar to the way you review, like the way I've set up these reviews, most the vocabulary is what's called active recall. You have to actually think in your head and, you know, look at where the specific information is located and generate it. Passive is a bit more recognition. That's a lot easier. It's sort of the same reason. You can read a book, but if you had to create a list of all the words that were in that book, you probably get to like 100 words and just stop. You just probably couldn't even think of anything else. But you knew every word that you read in the book. And that's in a book in your native language. I'm not talking about a Japanese book. But it does work as you start learning Japanese. That's why they kind of stress, like, especially early on, learn these 2,000 words. Yeah, because this 2,000 words probably cover, I want to say 75%. I had to look. I've got a list of the. In fact, let me bring it up. Maybe I still have it. Do I have it? Word frequency report. So right here is just for fun. This is called a word frequency report, and let's see, maybe I can do a view. trying to think, can I make this bigger? Zoom. Okay. Okay, view, zoom in. So it's controlling mouse wheel. Okay. Alright. Alright, so let's look at this real quick. This is just for fun, anyway. Alright, so this right here was generated from the Japanese text analysis tool. And what the guy who created that program did is he also collected he got a collection of 5,600 Japanese novels, and essentially did an appearance of it. Like this character here, No, appeared 21 million times. All right, that character appeared 21 million times, and they accounted for 5% of all the characters in that book, or all the words. If you counted this as a word, this was like 5% of all words is no. And then you had Ta, which is actually, again, that's another 5%. So now you're up to 10%. And then we have Wa, which is about 4%. So now we're at 14%. Oh, okay. So anyway, this gets small very fast. Okay. In fact, if you graphed it, it'll look like a logarithmic scale, inverse logarithm. So yeah, these look like all grammar terms, especially near here. But then we start seeing actual vocabulary words: miru, kare, nani, jibun, and we're so around about the 50% mark is when we're starting to hit into real words. Like we're getting rid of the grammar terms. Now we're getting into words. Okay, so let's say we get up to, what do we need? How many words? How many? And some of these are basically grammar, But what do we need to get up to 75%? Okay, notice now our count is going higher and higher. Right now we're almost at 1,000 words. So at around about 1,000 words here, you've covered 75%. And all right, so what do we got to get to, let's say, 80%? Okay, so this is 80%. And what do we got here? Now we're at 2,000 words. So just get from that 5% of coverage, you had to add another 1,000 words or so. And it gets crazier because, again, like get up to 85, just an insane number of words. Because again, you just got all these unique words that appear like one time. Like in here, if you look at these right here, these are about how many times they appear. Then there's the, like, this appeared. This is a ranking. This is its ranking of words, and so this would be like, let's see, how many times they've appeared, if I understand. Yeah, so that's all these are here, like how many times they've appeared. So this here appeared in 5,600 novels, 9,000 times, out of hundreds of millions of words. In fact, if you did the math, I'm pretty sure it would, pop up. Like, just divide this number by this, and you'd get, but anyway, if like 20 million or 200 million is no, and that's 5%. Well, this multiplied by 20, so it's like 4 billion words. Out of the 4 billion words, this appeared 9,000 times. So it's a very small amount. So you're not going to know every word, but what's going to happen, especially with the beauty with kanji or whatnot, is that usually since kanji have meanings, then for quite a few words, you can kind of guess what the meanings are. And yeah, they'll say, "Oh, don't do that. It's not always a guarantee." Yeah, true. For a number of words, more than small, and it's not a small number. But for the most part, yeah, you can kind of put together what the purpose is, especially if they're like governmental agencies or businesses or whatnot. They're kind of being descriptive using the kanji. So it makes it where even if these words are really excessive, you at least have some comprehension if you've never seen that word before. With English, we could also figure it out through context. That works the same with Japanese. I don't know why I'm going into this or describing this. It was just something I thought was interesting. But yeah, so it's 20 million, or in this case, let's see, that's 10%. So what? Let's say 37. So 37 times 10. So 37 million times 10. So okay, 370 million words. There you go, 370 million words. And these grammar terms here account for, let's say, just 40 words account for 50% of the frequency appearance. These 40 words appear 50% of the time. If you pick a word, you're going to run into one of these, 1 out of 2 times. And then, again, it follows the logarithm. I mean, look here, the period. It appears, 1 out of 1,000. Every 1,000 things that you see something like this pop up for whatever reason. Who knows? Okay. This doesn't do you any good. I could use this right here, as long as I stripped out, let's say, the grammar terms, and I can generate a pretty good workable frequency. I can generate a good vocabulary list for people if I wanted to. What I would do is put it into groups of 2,000 or maybe groups of 1,000, and then sort that using the kanji list, and then anything that says kana, hiragana, katakana only, I'd have those in that group of 1,000 evenly spaced throughout that in ranked appearance, just because. And you'd have a workable vocabulary. I think if you get up to and past 10,000, again, let's just say, let's get to the 2,000 mark, just for SMGs. All right. So here's 2,000. We've got what is saying 80% coverage at 2,000. Now let's go to 4,000. So this would be like the intermediate part 2. Now these are not one-to-one. These are not the words that I'm covering in Core 2K. But you probably, it's comparable. Like here's hazureru. Okay, now we went from 80 to 85%. So we are on 2,000 words, get 85%. But that's a pretty big chunk of change of what you're missing. And then we get to 6,000. It's not going to get much better. So we're going from 85% to yeah, right here, almost to 90%. We're almost to 90% coverage, and that's kind of where I think for vocabulary it's going to stop. That'll be intermediate part 2, and usually around, I think they say for core like a JLPT N1, or basically if you did the advanced courses that I plan on putting on Memorize, it's going to be an additional 4,000 vocabulary words. So let's say here, so we're going from 6,000 to, let's go down to 8,000. Okay, so right here, and here is Monzen or Monmae. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Let's see, shobo, nai, kawari. These are words around here. So I mean, they're not completely unknown. But we went from, what was it, 88% to now we're at 90%, 8,000. Yeah. So, and let's just finish off. Let's just see what 10,000 vocabulary words gets us. 10,000 vocabulary words. Here we are. Okay, so we're at 10,000. Akinai, we're at barely, again, another 0.5%. There's just so many words out there that you just, if you don't know it, it's not going to kill you. Okay, some of it might be. Let's see, Watson. So this is a person's name, Watson. This is Jama, and this is Baig. Kagun, so this is like Jietai, or in this case this is like Marine or something. And these are words that you can, just by looking at it, let's say Shinmitsu, something like secret, Teki, it's probably like secretary or something, but Hitoshi, which is alone, Sumoru. I mean, these are not, this is bravery, and you might even know how to say it, I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is like talking, by the way, because that's really particular. Ringo is apple. Okay, so again, these are 10,000 words in, and you're still seeing words that you kind of probably know anyway, just by whatever reason. It might be, okay, this is you might know that this might appear 3 times. You'll see it Ringo as katakana, you might see Ringo as hiragana, you might see Ringo as kanji. This oki, you might see it as okimasu, oku, oiteru, something like that. It's hard to say. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, this is doable. I mean, Shoshin is promotion, and that's a common word in business. Okay. Anyway, this is just don't sweat it. I guess that's a big thing. Don't sweat about building a bigger and bigger vocabulary. You can do that passively as you start reading a lot more Japanese. That's why this is called, course is called Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy. Is as you're literate, then you're able to actually read actual Japanese, and by reading actual Japanese, you start picking up words and vocabulary passively. You're not going and creating a vocabulary list because you didn't have, you kind of know what that word meant based on reading. You read more, you might you might see the word again, and you start, through context, you start putting some meanings to it. And but that has to happen in bulk. You have to read. You have to read a lot of books. You have to watch a lot of TV, watch a lot of movies, read a lot of manga. Make your life Japanese. That's why this whole the whole process of the course, because you can't spend your whole life just learning a vocabulary list. Because the reason why you've learned a set list is the idea is that, okay, you're casting a wide net, and you're hoping that these 2,000 words you're learning capture about 75% of everything that's out there. Okay, and from there you can kind of get a lot of stuff through context. You're missing quite a bit, but all right, so maybe you want to cast a bigger net of 4,000 more words to bring that from 75% up to 85%, or maybe or whatnot, maybe 90% if you count all the, because again, if you learn a verb, you kind of learn a number of, like a verb here might appear a number of times for whatever reason, because it's it's because of the different the way it's what is it called, conjugated, the way the verb is conjugated, because you want to treat each conjugation almost like it's a separate word sometimes. And again, that's good. I mean, again, so you start learning this, you're casting this big net, you're catching a big percentage, but the reason you want that percentage is so that now you can go and attack literature easier. Alright, but you still need to attack literature. You need to make reading a daily part of your life. You need to watching Japanese a daily part of your life. Otherwise, this just becomes a parlor trick. It's like, okay, yeah, I know Japanese, and somebody asks, well, say something in Japanese. Okay, nanika, and there you go. Nanika te nihongo de shibette imasu. Okay, something like that. I don't know. I don't know why I'm on a rant here. Let me make sure my audio is working. There you go. Alright, got one person watching. Probably sounding like a crazy person right now. Anyway, so this is 16 minutes into the stream, so just like yesterday, I'm starting late, slurping my coffee. Well, let's begin. Alright, anyway. Main purpose is that I could give you some stats, about kanji, vocabulary. I can't give you too many stats on the grammar. I have to trust in the resources, alright? But with vocabulary, I can definitely say, hey, look, here it is. This is a scan of. Here's a list of the words. This is the coverage we're getting, alright? Nothing more I can do about it. It is what it is. Yeah. And I can show you how to make things easier. It is easier if you've got access to the transcripts of a drama, to run the transcripts through a JTAT, Japanese Text Analysis tool. Pick up some new vocabulary words. Strip out all the new words that you've already learned. Have that done automatically. You want to use as minimum amount of time and effort as possible to make approaching Japanese easier. Okay, that's all this is about. But you have to approach Japanese. You got to sign up. Go to Nusoku-R, the subreddit. Go to the Nico, even though that sucks as a actually YouTube has a lot more and more videos for Japan are on YouTube as opposed, so you don't have to worry about Nico as much. And YouTube is probably a bit more approachable. Find some books that are fun. There are graded readers, but find stuff that you enjoy reading. TV shows. If you can't get into Japanese TV shows, yeah, somehow, some way, beg, borrow, steal, whatever. U.S. dramas that are dubbed in Japanese. Right? You're at a disadvantage because the subtitles won't match up. Most likely, what's being said. But that's fine. Go with it because you've already seen it, so you at least know the story. And hopefully, by knowing the story, you can anticipate what is being said, or you're hearing something and, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that has happened. I'm experiencing that now. Especially with Netflix. Netflix is a very good service. Figure out if you got to get a trick to get your VPN working where they count you as being in Japan, and be able to watch shows that way. And yeah, okay. Anyway, enough of the rant. We do need to get started. All right. Let's see. It is. Let me write it down. RTK 33, RTK 34. We are on RTK 33. Let me go bring you over here. Over here. Make sure. Let's see. What are we doing? We are on different 1644. Right here. Okay. Okay, and that's all lit down. Alright, sounds like we are set up. Alright, so we got Madamus13 saying thanks for doing Nuke, and hey, my pleasure. Like I said, almost done with this video series, and I am hoping that I've got a hiragana video series, a katakana video series, each 3 hours each. Then we got this kanji video series that's 30 hours. Good God, it's 30 hours. And yeah, when I get into the grammar part, I feel like if I'm comfortable with how I'm doing the grammar video on my own, like when I'm doing the studying here, and if I'm comfortable with that, then I'll try to go and do this video here for Tai Kim, and I'll do it again for number 6. I do feel, okay, because I would like to do that. And finally, I might even do a video for the vocabulary, although that's not as important. This is pretty straightforward. Still, I might do a video because, you know, by doing that, I can then go over the sentences. Because the hardest part with this vocabulary course is the sentences. I put it there as a listening tool, but people may want to understand it, and their grasp on grammar is not that strong because the only thing they have is just this right here. You know, maybe me being there to explain, like, okay, yeah, you're gonna learn this later, but this right now, this is what it means, thing, and maybe that'll help, or put it into context of, you know, in Japanese society, because you know, what does a sentence mean in Japanese society? If I know it, you know, because I am by no means close to being an expert. All right. So, okay, so we're on Remember the Kanji 3. We are, let's see, lesson 33. There are the 15 words. And we write the time down, then go into the intro. Alright, so right now it's 21 minutes. We'll say 30 seconds. It is the 14th. Saturday the 14th. I completely forgot it was Friday the 13th, even though I knew it was a Friday because of the trash that it was. But anyway, 21 minutes 30 seconds, and let's go with the intro right now. Welcome back. This is Nuke Marine presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy course series on Memorize. Currently, we are on course number 3, which is Remembering the Kanji Optimized, Part 1. Presenting the 555 kanji from the Koscom book series, 2001.kanji.odyssey, and presenting those in the RTK, or Remembering the Kanji order. If you've been following, currently we are on lesson 33. So if you've been following this, if you've been enjoying this videos up to this point, or from here on out, remember to hit the like button. If you find it been useful for other people, consider sharing it on social media with your friends. And also, if you haven't already and you've been coming back, consider subscribing. I get the feeling I'll be making quite a few videos from here on out. Okay, so we are on lesson 33. Sorry, we're on lesson 33. So we were at what was it? 480, something like 480. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 lessons left. All right, so 75 more kanji to learn, and we are done. At least done with this part. Okay. And again, I've probably mentioned it before. When you're here, by the time you're done with these 555 kanji, as far as frequency, like if we pointed a kanji, a random kanji at a random text of Japanese text, there's a 75% chance that it's one of these kanji. All right, as long as that's again, just a standard piece of Japanese literature or newspaper or whatever, boom, this is a kanji you're going to see. Let's see, make sure we're on the right. Okay, good. So it is bundle. So this is lesson 33. First thing is bundle. Alright, and as always, here's the Heise keyword, which is related roughly to the a meaning of this kanji. It's not the only meaning. And again, the purpose of the keyword is to bring to your mind this little visual story in your head, to where in the parts of that story can help be the parts of this kanji that help you put it together. I will be going over other meanings of this kanji that they hold based on the vocabulary words that this kanji is used in, and I will be showing you Japanese vocabulary words. In fact, let me get that activated now. Again, the purpose is not to memorize this vocabulary. If you've gone this far, don't worry. In about 7 lessons, or about 5 lessons or so, you'll be going on to grammar. You'll be learning plenty of vocabulary then. Especially after the grammar, you'll be learning. There's another vocabulary course where you learn 500 vocabulary words. But the benefit is that all the vocabulary words in that course, in fact 2 courses, is they only use if the word doesn't have is either hiragana or katakana or only the kanji that I've taught up to this point, then it doesn't. You don't see it. You don't see a vocabulary word. Even if it's a basic vocabulary word, you won't see it till later when you do learn that kanji. Okay, that's my promise to you. That's what I'm trying to offer you. Something that's very structured and quick to learn, but also effective. All right, so let's begin. So here we have is bundle. Now, other meanings for this is a sheaf, or a bundle of newspaper, like a bundle of paper, a sheaf, a ream of paper, tie-in bundles, like a newspaper stack. Govern, manage, and also control is some other words. There we have is taba, a bundle, a bunch, sheaf. In fact, let's see. So tsuka, hand breath, or bundle. Now we have some other words. Now these may not deal with bundle, but here we have sokubaku, restraint, shackles, restriction. Okay, binding. Kesoko, union, unity, so bound up. Yakusoku, arrangement, mainly a promise, though, appointment, a pact, agreement. All right, so those are some words. So this is using those various terms. Now here we have, you can look at it, we see it's tree and mouth, bundle. So here we have mouth and tree is an easy pictograph. However, your mouth opens wide as you see the proverbial stork with a baby hanging from its mouth and flies straight into a tree. Painful, but he doesn't drop the bundle. Another kanji is think bundle of newspaper. So the way I can think of it is like I just imagine a mouth like holding it looks like a bunch of dead trees, which is what a bundle of newspaper would be, a bunch of dead trees. And another thing could be a fat stack of cash, if you want to go with that. See somebody who, tree. Just refer to a stack of cash as trees. So he puts his stack of cash in his mouth, and saying, yeah, especially if that's like a stack of $100 bills, like it's like $10,000 that you're just holding in your mouth. That's a bundle. All right, so we got that. Let's see what Isaac has to say with the matter, real quick, and then we'll draw it. All right, so now. From yesterday, we were at difference. So these are words we skip over, and I'll go to the new one. So we have horizontal, defense, Korea. Here we have is dry. We may have to visit this again. If we find a kanji use it, I'll revisit it. Liver, publish, sweat, flats, beach, tree trunk. Now we have is potato, which is a little, but again, don't worry. Here is a full kanji for potato. Eaves, too much, exclude, gradually, confer, route, diagonally, paint. Now we're at here. Now we're at bundle. So in the same way you saw sun behind tree, now we see is a square container, mouth behind a tree. So again, just think of a mouth biting a stack of cash, and imagine a stack of cash was made from trees. Here's the kanji for it. We're working. Okay. All right. So we want to do tree. So when we think of bundle, think of like a bundle of sticks, if you want to. And there's a term for that I won't mention. Alright, then we do the mouth, because the mouth is biting into it, so it could be that bundle of sticks or a bundle of cash. Bundle it, and we can finish off the tree. We'll just do this all in strokes. Alright, and this is bundle. And yeah, we'll just finish off like that. Now, now don't forget, it looks very similar to east, right there. Alright, and should be no problem. Now, what's easy to do is also confuse this, is this right here. Remember, top hat, mouth, with. So this is capital, and this is bundle. You can definitely tell the difference now that you're able to visually see these side by side, and you've had the story for these as well. All right, so this is bundle. Next kanji. Now we have his bundle and head. Now this is called trust. Trust or request. Request is more like onegai, but yeah, so trust. Words that use this. We have is tanomu, like I entrust you, I'm entrusting it to somebody. Tayoru, I haven't heard that one before, but I've heard tanomu quite a bit. Let's see, irai, second word. Request, commission, dispatch. Okay. Shinrai, not seeing it. Okay, yeah, it's the first word. Reliance, trust, or faith, confidence. What we have is budaikan, ruffian, villain, scoundrel. So budaikan, I guess, would be an entrusted individual. Then budaikan is the negative of that, an untrusted. In fact, let's see. Here's an icon for fun. Nope, not showing up. Okay. Well, there you go. So here you go. Here's the story. For some odd reason, people trust that the bundle of newspapers held over their head will keep them dry when it's raining. Trust me, that bundle in their heads will get wet. Another way I say it was trust is like, it'd be kind of like, imagine you put a bundle of sticks or cash, you want to do cash money in your mouth, put a bundle, and then you want to trust the other person holding it and then standing on a log. Like, so you both got to trust each other not to open their mouth so that you stay on the log. So imagine the weight of each other holding yourself on the log. So it's kind of like a weird game show. So yeah, so that's a bundle of sticks or cash, and they each hold in the mouth. Okay, way it could be is, so if you wait, you can think of a weird game show. So here's each of them are holding $10,000 a mouth, right? And they're holding themselves on the log, and if they both fall off, nobody gets money. If they both stay on, they each split the money. Now, if one can have the other one fall off, and you can stay on the log, keeping money in your mouth, then you win it all. All right, so kind of like a weird way of doing the prisoner's dilemma, but using trust. All right, we got someone no milk today saying hello. Hello, no milk today. So let's see what Isaac has to say. Probably nothing much. So here's bundle, here's trust, bundle, and head. So let's draw it. All right, so we'll keep bundle up there. Okay, so we're right over here. So we got, remember, trust. Just imagine holding a bundle. Remember, and it's a kind of like a short, because this tree over here. Okay, so there's the bundle. And now we just do the head. We'll do the head in two parts. Okay. Oh, sorry. One, mouth, then that one. Alright. And do the eye. There's the eye, and then the two legs for the head. Alright. So that's trust. Bundle and head. Bundle and head. And again, it could be bundle of cash. Or a bundle of newspapers. Next kanji. Quick. Now we have is a bundle on the road. And that's going to be an easy story. If you throw a bundle of cash on the road, it's going to be picked up real quick. People are going to run at it quick and pick it up. So anyway, this means quick and fast. There is early, which is referring to as fast. But it's normally associated with early. You know, early in the morning. This is fast as in speed. Quick as in speed. Okay, so some words that use it. Hayai, which is fast. In fact, let's see. Haya. So you see, yeah, there's the first kanji that uses it. But yeah, hayai, hayameru. So here we have it. Sokudo, speed, velocity, rate. Binsoku, quickness, agility, activity. Jisoku, speed per hour. Question, are you using a digitizer table? What's a digitizer table? Okay, so here we go. Here's the story. Quick, take this bundle of papers down the road and deliver. Okay, I like the idea of throwing a bundle of money onto the road and then pick it up real quick. Here's what Isaac has to say on the matter real quick. Let's see, we got trust, rapids, imperial order, alienate, quick. Okay, nothing there. Let's draw it. Okay, so again, throw a bundle of cash on the road. Bundle of $100 bills. So let's do the bundle. Okay. And, because again, let's do the road. And people run after it really quick. Alright, that's quick. Or, yeah, quick. Next kanji. Organize. Okay, so this is a good one. So it's organize, arrange, arranging something, tune or tone. It looks like a key in music. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, it doesn't say there. So totono or totonoeru is to organize or make it neat. So let's see. Here we have it. Seiri, sorting, arranging, organizing, putting in order. Not to be confused with the second seiri, which is a menstruation or a female's period. Seiritsu, first word, standing in a row, forming a line, alignment. Chosei, first word, regulation, adjustment, tuning, modification, alteration. Alright, so there we go, organized. And you can see we've got bundle, Indiana Jones, and Tadashi, or correct, or towing the line. Did I have I don't think I had a word for that, like for being correct. Okay, so here we have is recycling in Japan. This is true. Recycling in Japan, you have to make sure all your bundles, and they see bundles of newspapers, are organized correctly, otherwise the taskmasters, or the alright, we got a question. No milk today. Are you fluent in Japanese? Not personally, I don't think I am. but I'm high enough in understanding this to be able to at least teach this part. I'll put it that way. I'm trying to improve my Japanese along with most other people. So this is taking a self-study course. I'm just using this as an advantage to teach other people as I'm going along as well. Okay. So yeah, so take it bundles, and then you got to think of Indiana Jones as making sure, hey, nah, that's the wrong piece of paper or something. Maybe he's acting as the professor today, but he still got his whip there, and he's like, hey, no, you got to be the correct bundle of paper. That's a bundle of newspapers. It's got to only be a bundle of plastics today. So organize your trash. So you think of organize your trash. Let's see what Heisig says. Here's quick. Here's organize, bundle, taskmaster, correct. All right, so we're down here. So here, organize your trash bundle. So here okay, organize your trash bundle. All right, otherwise a taskmaster, or in this case, otherwise Indiana Jones is gonna kick your ass and make you take it back and bring up the correct. So there's bundle, taskmaster, then we do correct, which is towing the line. And there's, or if you want to bring the Harry Potter story into it, correct. Alrighty, there we go. Next kanji. Precipitous. Alright, so we're going to be learning owl. Let's see, maybe I want to be very careful here. Okay. Alrighty. And let's say owl. We have images for owl. There we go. Okay. But anyway, we will be picking up owl in a bit. I'll show you. Alright, so anyway, this is precipitous. So if you're not sure about the definitions, and this has been a problem, some problems that have happened with Heisig, is that dangerously high or steep, precipitous, is you may not know what these words mean. And Heisig doesn't give you the definition. So there's nothing wrong with looking up the word in the dictionary, because some of these words are not commonly used in English, in everyday English. Precipitous. So here we have precipitous: inaccessible place, impregnable position, steep place, sharp eyes. I like to, so yeah, precipitous. Some words that use it. So kewashi, I don't know that word. Okay, here we have is kenaku. Kenaku, first word. Dangerous, serious, gloomy, perilous. Kiken, danger, peril, hazard. Sort of like Abinai uses the kanji for dangerous there as well. So dangerous and precipitous. And then we have is hoken, second word, an insurance or a guarantee. Alright, so here's the story. So we got the Eiffel Tower, and we have the ice pick, which is meaning and person. So we're going to be covering that. So let's go over that. The edge of the Eiffel Tower is precipitous and inaccessible on the outside. The outside side of the so they have a guard post with an ice pick to poke eyes at people trying to climb. Well, the thing is, imagine the Eiffel Tower is actually layered on the outside by ice picks pointed downward to keep people from climbing up. So it's very dangerous to climb the Eiffel Tower from the outside. Whatnot, precipitous. So high and inaccessible. All right, so let's go with real quick. So we have is organized. Now what we're going to do is all. Now what is an all? This is an awl right there. See right there, kind of looks like an ice pick. It's meant for woodworking or whatnot. Yeah, so if you want to call it ice pick, do that as well. All right, so this says awl, but yeah, ice pick can work. So you can see it looks like meeting, mouth, or fit, and then person. Meeting, mouth, or fit, and person. So let's do this. All right, so we're going to learn ice pick or all. All right, so we want to do meeting. So we do the remember meeting is umbrella. And there's the one, so that's meeting. And then we have fit, if you kind of remembered that, which is, so it's like a meeting of mouth, so the two pipes fit together. So we have meeting, mouth. Then we got the person. So if you need to, so this can represent ice pick. You can kind of create a story. So this is the meaning of maybe the guy was mouthing off too much, so they all stabbed him with the ice picks. Ice pick, if you want to go with that route. So this is, ice pick. And sometimes you usually see it like this, like here, off to the side, right? Ice pick, ow. So here's a Heisig story. Here's all, but no, okay. Saber, full kanji for saber. Precipitous, here's what we want. So we want pinnacle and owl, all. So again, so we think of precipitous, steep and dangerous. So we want to think the outside, climbing the outside of the Eiffel Tower. Climbing outside of the Eiffel Tower is precipitous and dangerous because the designers put a bunch of awls on the outside to prevent dumbasses from climbing it for a YouTube stunt. Okay. In fact, I could do. Tell you what, just because. Alright, so this is all, and you're going to see these in quite a few vocabulary words. In fact, I forgot to do that, so let me go back to here. Anyway, so here's precipitous. Never mind, I did do that. Never mind. Okay, I take that back. Alright, so we are good to there. So again, precipitous. Precipitous, climbing the precipitous Eiffel Tower is dangerous because of the ice picks guarding the outside. Next kanji. Now we have examination. So this is examination as in school examination. In fact, shiken yeah, this is like we'll see the word. So here we have is to examination or investigate. Okay, so here we have is kensa, an inspection, like by the police. Examination. Kendo, consideration, examination, investigation, or study and scrutiny. I don't see anything else. And tenken, inspection, examination. So you can kind of see it all falls under these examination, inspections, meanings. Alright, let's have Heisig real quick. So we have precipitous, here's examination, tree and all. Alright, so this is really easy. Personally, I think this is easy. All you got to do is imagine examination. Think of examining the inner workings of a tree without killing it. So what you got to do, you got to poke the tree with ice picks. Is that what it says here? Oh, I didn't even give a story to that. That's unusual. Okay, but yeah, you'd be poking a tree. So let's do tree. So you're gonna poke the tree to be able to look at the inside of the tree without killing it. And how are you gonna poke the tree? You're gonna use that ice pick or the owl, which is this right here. Tree. Remember, it's a trim tree. Yeah, and there we go. That's examination. Examination. Kenko. Alright, examination. Not to be confused with evaluation. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it and evaluation. Does evaluation come up? Let me see. See what we've done here. Looks like we're not doing evaluation here. Okay, we're not covering evaluation yet. We will be, though. So we're up here to examination. I'll tell you what, just to be sure. Open a new tab. Okay, so it should be K Ken. Not. Is it that one? No. Cool. Kinkyo. Oh, okay, I gotta tell you what. Let's do wiki search evaluation. Not there. All right. Let's cheat. Alright, so we want to do horse. Here we are. Oh, it's like Con Ken. Yeah, it is Con. Con Ken. Oh, Con Ken. There we are. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if this is a. Stop that. Wish I would stop that. Okay. Shift. Control C. Okay, let's see if that shows up. Control V. Okay. Copy. Not. Okay. Oh, verification, not evaluation. Okay, that makes sense. All right, sorry for that. Sorry for the distraction. Apologies on that. Okay, so this is examination. Not to be confused with verification. Examination, verification. Okay, next kanji. All right, now we're going to learn this is a new kanji in itself. So this is heavy. Let's see, it says like heap up, pile up something. Also nested boxes. So let's see. So we have is omo, chief, maintain, a principle of something. To fold or something like to multiply or something, make numbers of. And ju, a greater degree, heavy or serious. Omo. Also here is like amoi, which is heavy. Here we have is juryo, heavy, a weight or a heavyweight boxer. The first entry we have is judai, serious, important, significant. Niju, double, twofold, 2 layers. The second entry there. Let's see. They're not doing it. They're not doing Juji. Should be Jujo, but okay. Shinju. Maybe it should have been Jucho. Probably was Jucho. Okay. Shincho. Discretion, prudence, caution, and Kicho. Second entry. Precious or valuable. Alright, so it could be like something that has importance of it or also is heavy. It has a couple meanings. The story here is like the first computer in the world was heavy as 1,000 computers are now. Okay, heavy. So we have it, you kind of see it like 1,000 and then underneath that's computer. And it's almost written similarly. So we'll look to the Heisig real quick for the stroke. Oh, wrong thing. You can kind of see, so it's 1, 2, then do the sun. Then the stick. So so a downward stroke. Heisig. Okay. So here we are. We are at precipitous, examination, frugal. Now we have is heavy. So I have 1,000 and he's saying li, or I'll just say 1,000 in computers. 1,000 computers, and that's the easiest thing. Yeah. So think of heavy. Just imagine 1,000 computers are heavy compared to the light computer in your pocket now. Alright, so we think heavy. So do 1, first stroke, then 2, kind of like the strokes for 1,000. And then we're also going to then do the first part of a computer, which is the sun, like the sun-powered computer. So we got 1, this, do this little computer. Then we do the straight vertical. Okay. Then we're going to do lastly was the 2 representing, let's say, the binary input, or if you want to, it kind of looks like the keyboard of the computer. So 1,000 computers are very heavy. Heavy. Next kanji. Okay, so that's heavy. Now this is move. Well, you need something that's 1,000 computers. You need the power of Superman to move it. So think of move. Okay, 1,000 computers won't move unless you got Superman to move it. So that's going to be an easy kanji to remember. So we have move, motion, change, confusion, or shift, shake. Alright, so this is ugokasu, to move something, or ugoku, to move yourself. Do, motion or change. Here we have is dobutsu. So this is moving thing, or an animal, dobutsu. Animal. Katsudo, action or activity. Okay. There's also undo, which is exercise. Sodo, strife, riot, rebellion. Alright, so there we go. Move. So, this is not, heavy and muscle. Or muscle? Yeah, okay. I was always doing, power, muscle, sure. In this case, so we're going to do heavy. So we're going to do, again, let's do the one drop and sun. We'll do this in 2 parts. Now, since it's over here on the left side, that's when things start looking a little weird. That bottom stroke kind of has an upward stroke to it. Alright, so we got 1, and probably a little shrunk. It's a little compacted here. Alright, and then we want to do power. Remember, that's Superman. Alright. Alright, then we do Superman. Alright, and this is move. Now let's look at the stroke order to make sure I'm doing this right. Alright, so we got 1, 2, doing the sun, stroke of the finish 1,000, do the keyboard, then we're doing power. No problem. Move. Now we're going to do work, which is we're going to bring Batman and Superman working together for the first time to move 1,000 computers. I don't know. Okay. So now we have his work. So this means work as in, yeah, I mean like the job, like as a job. Hataraku, to work at your job. Sutumeru? Maybe. That's a little different. So, yeah. Not sure why it's saying kokuji, but okay. I guess it means it's referring to kokuji. Why is that? I don't know. So here we have is rodo. Rodo. Manual labor. Toyo, work. That's not bad. Alright, got a quick question by Soren Ryuzaki. Hey, just wondering, how come the Taikim Grammar Part 3 and 4 don't have the text lessons? I suppose I should just check the website, but I made Part 1 and 2 more convenient. Okay, I got a good answer for you. Alright, I was doing the text when I actually started doing the lesson itself as studying. That's when I do it. I wasn't doing it ahead of time. That was why. I mean, no other reason. Laziness on my part. I will be including that as well, but yeah, it's drawn straight from the website, so there is nothing lost. And I do link to the particular lessons. I think I do. I should link to each of the individual lessons in those courses. And if not, then I apologize. Okay. Hopefully I answer your question. Yes, I am lazy. Jitsudo. Actual work. Okay, so this refers to work. And you can see it's Batman, 1,000 computers, and Superman. So here we go. So it's hard work on the watch. Batman does not move. He works by watching. I don't know. So maybe Superman is moving the 1,000 computers. Batman's just looking at him like, I've done my work. You do that. You do the heavy lifting now. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we have meritorious deed. We have work. Person to move. Don't confuse with labor. Okay. What is it? Labor. I don't think we did. I'm kind of wondering. Let's see. Do we have labor? No. Okay. We haven't learned that anyway. So, alright. So let's draw this. So again, we're still going with work. So we want to do the Batman. Now, since, and if you're probably noticing with the stroke order, let me make sure. Okay. It still has a slight upward stroke in the, because this is still counting as being on the left-hand side of the kanji. So it's still being treated as a pseudo-radical here. Okay, so we got the Batman working. Batman works brain over brawn. So Batman works with the mind of 1,000 computers. So we can do 1,000 computers, and we'll do this in 2 parts. So Batman works with the mind of 1,000 computers. World's greatest detective or something like that. While Superman moves the weight of 1,000 computers. Okay. Okay, Superman, 1,000 computers. I mean, Batman, 1,000 computers, Superman. Next kanji. Okay, species. Now we have is wheat, and wheat that could feed 1,000 people. So we're going to say species. A species of wheat that is so many calories that it's able to feed 1,000. I don't know, because of 1,000 people, or a bunch of heavy, or gets heavier. Okay, we'll just do that. Something that gets heavy. Species. So anyway, this is species, as in yeah, animal species. A kind or a class of. It's a classification. So this is shurui, yeah, variety or seed. So here's one word: tane, a seed, a pip, a kind, a variety or quality. And then we have is there shu, which is kind of biological species or logical species. Shurui, variety, kind or type, category. There's not the second one. Okay. Then we have jinshu. That's the race of people. Jinshu, a race of people. Hinshu, kinds of goods or brands. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that's species. So we got wheat and heavy. So here's one story. After the whole low-carb craze, scientists developed a new low-carb species of wheat so that dieters could eat it without getting heavier. Okay. That's one way of looking at it, sure. Let's see what Isaac has to say on it. So they got work. Here we have species, wheat and heavy. So you think of species, think of a species of wheat. Species of wheat. So let's do wheat. We got the tree, and it's a trimmed tree. So yeah, wheat, trimmed wheat. and designed. Now you could say it's designed to feed 1,000 or heavier, designed to grow it like you get a heavier load or more wheat. That's what we're looking at, or you can eat it without getting heavier. So we'll do something to do with heavy. So we'll do our 1,000 computers. Since it's over here, you keep that last stroke flat, I think, and make sure. Yeah, you can see that last stroke is now flat. Alright, we're almost done here. Alright, oh good, we're going to go into sickness and, oh nice, I like that. And we're going to get to introduce Wolverine. That's even better. Awesome. I like that. Okay. Some of these are fun because of the primitives are very visual, so it makes the stories to think of the kanji more visual. Like the Superman and the Batman and Spider-Man make for easy kanji for me because I can picture these characters doing this stuff, these stories in my head when I hear the keyword. Okay, no milk today says, I am a rookie in Japanese and I don't know where to start from. How did you start? And I'll tell you what, I don't want to get too distracted real quick. I can get to your answer real quick, but normally what I do is, I'll tell you what, do this. Go to this website, forum.kohi.com, K-O-O-H-I-I.com, right here, or kanji.kohi forums. Let's do a search for that. Go to the group study section of this. So it's on the side, here's group study. Alright, and then go down here where it says, suggested guide for Japanese literacy memorized course. Alright, if you click on here and go here, you've got essentially links to all the memorized courses that I have, that I've been putting together. Okay, in addition to some bonus additional courses that you want to do at the end. When you're done with all 12 of these, you want to do a mix of these 8 that are going to be here. Alright, there you go. And trust me, that is a lengthy course. It's going to take you a while to get through it. But some people are watching, are going through it now, and they're getting. I'm hearing success stories. I'm not hearing people complaining. I'll put it that way. Okay, so we already did species. Now let's do the next kanji. All right, ill. So we're going to have to introduce what's called illness, or the actual thing for like being sick, sickness. And third class, we're going to have to introduce 2 things here. Let's come back to this, and hopefully I remember to do it. Alright, so here's Heisig. So let's keep going on until we get to those 2 parts. So we have species, collide, fragrant. Okay, now we're gonna have to show you 2 things, because this right here, third class, I hadn't shown you that before. And then we're also gonna have to show you sickness, which is, you can kind of see it's like the little icicles on the outside of the cave. So imagine if you put all your sick people in the cave, alright, and then you want to pack it with ice, because again, maybe they got a temperature, so you want to make sure their temperatures are kept low so they don't get even more sick. So you have to keep the place nice and cool when they're sick. So that'll be the visual for sickness. So let's do that real quick. Alright, so you think of cave, which is, here's the I'll tell you what, we'll do this all in parts. Hello, okay, right there. So there's the chimney of the cave, because again, you're living in there, you got to let the smoke out. Alright, and here's the side of the cave. So after you do that, now you want to do this, do all the little ice things that kind of represent right there. Okay, that's sickness. All right, now I want to introduce is what's called third class, like a third class citizen. So imagine a third class. So imagine you're flying in a very packed airplane, or like a packed the third class of a subway or whatnot. In other words, so you got the. It's like, so it's always packed all the way up to the ceiling. And in fact, it's so packed that they actually got little belts to tie you to the ceiling. And it should be, and little persons are hanging from the belt. Hopefully I'm drawing this right. All right, let me verify that's the correct stroke order. Okay, so here you go. So you go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you could say, just imagine like that's a person like hanging from the ceiling and they're just tied to the wall with a belt, because that's a third class passage on the third class passage on the trip. Okay, so now we got sickness. All right, now we want to do ill, sickness in third class. And now let's get back to here. So in this full kanji for sickness, I think, well, let's treat it like, okay, so you got illness, sickness, and third class. Now this can mean ill or sick. So yamai, I haven't heard that before. Yamai, illness or disease. Now I've heard this, byoki, ill means you're sick, disease or an illness, byoki. Byokon, the cause of the disease, the root of the evil or root of the disease. Kambyo, nursing, nursing a patient, so taking care of a patient. Also, you have byoin, which is entering a hospital. No, that's nyoin. I take that back. Okay, byoin would be like a hospital, I believe. Shi shippei, illness or disease. All right, so here we go. So full class, we find those who are sick are treated as third-class citizens. Okay, I guess if you're in the U.S., they also have a thing like being ill at the what they call the Veterans Administration or VA hospital. You're treated almost like you're a third-class citizen. There's some stories about how poorly veterans are treated when they go to the hospitals there because there's so many veterans, but not enough funding to take care of them. At least in the U.S. Different ways of looking at it. All right, so we've got these two together. Let's bind it. So we're going to do hospital. So we'll do a hospital in 2 strokes, or illness. Sorry, we'll do illness in 2 strokes. So we hear ill, think illness, and when you ever notice when you're sick, you're treated like a third-class citizen. Like, hey, don't come to work. No, don't get near me. I don't want to get sick. So they treat you like a pariah, a third-class citizen. All right, so we do third class. We'll do it as 2 things. Okay, so there's the ice, there's the ceiling, the airplane, there's the belt holding it to the wall, there's the people that are packed into third class passenger. Okay, so this is sickness or illness, ill. Next kanji. Now we have illness again, but now we have it with pelt. Anyway, this is exhausted, tired, weary. So here it says it's tired. Sukareta. So if you ever hear people come home, if you watch Japanese dramas, they're coming home after a long day of work, they'll say sukareta. This is it. That means they are tired. Sukareru. Hiro. Second entry. Fatigue, weakness. Hihei. First entry. Exhaustion, impoverished or ruined. Okay. So here's the story. So from earliest times, exhausted was the sicknesses caused by people that wanted to lay down on their animals and pelts and sleep and recover from simply being exhausted. A story I thought of, exhausted or tired, is like, imagine, people who had to wear the thick fur coats just to stay warm, because they were walking, like, they became exhausted faster because they basically were wearing this heavy material that to even be able to move around, so they got tired that way. So depends on how you want to see it. So it's like how you recover from being exhausted, lay down on a nice wool rug, or in this case Sully from Monsters Inc. So that's Sully because it's his fur that I'm thinking of. Alright, so let's see what Isaac has to say. So we got ill, stupid, pox, symptoms, rapidly, diarrhea, tired, here we are, tired, sickness, and pelt. Alright, so let's do this. No story. So again, we have we hear tired thing, it is an illness. Alright, so we have the illness. And we want to do the pelt. So think of, hey, when you're tired, you want to lay down on your pelt rug. And the pelt rug happened to be, let's do this in parts. I'm going to do pelt. Because I don't really do this often. So we do this, there's the little hook that you in the pelt or cloak can hang on. Alright, that's tired, crotch. Alright, and just make sure, so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I did do that backwards, I apologize. Let me unfuck that. Ah, shite. Okay, I'm cursing too much right now. Okay. Okay, so right here, so we're going to do, so for pelt, that's fine, because yes, different from being postage stamp, which is this part is, or bikini, that part's done first, top part's done first. For pelt, the downward or the cloak itself is done first. Okay, helps if I do that. Okay. Alright, so the downward stroke of the pelt, this is the shoulders that the pelt is worn across. Okay, downward, there's the pelt, there's a little stick that you can hang the pelt up on when you're done wearing it. And then, of course, what does a pelt do? It covers your crotch. Okay, so anyway, so this is tired. Illness and pelt together form tired. Next kanji. Pain. Alright, so pain is an illness you feel when you, hit your foot with a hammer or something. When you're getting hit with a hammer, that's kind of obvious here. So this goes together. Illness. Anyway, pain, hurt, damage, a bruise. So this is itai. In fact, you'll hear this a lot. Itai, itai, or some guys step on it and they'll say ititititititi. You hear this. So itai, pain, painful. Tsukai, intense pleasure, thrilling. Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. Kutsu, pain, agony, bitterness. Shinsu, worry. It's kind of like, I guess, shinpai. So now shinsu, worry, mental agony, heartache. Okay, so here we have, so illness and hammer, or in this case, what was supposed to be stamp and screwdriver, which I call it together as hammer, chop seal. Alright, so let's, since we're still here, let's keep going. So again, pain is the illness you feel, pain, the illness you feel when you get hit all over with a hammer. So let's do the hammer. So again, kind of like you're doing the ma. You get hit all over with the hammer. Okay, so let's do hammer is just the stamp and the screwdriver. Stamp and the screwdriver together make the hammer. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. How are we doing? I think we got two more after this. Alright, so we're going to be introducing this little thing here called the box. Alright. So we have full enclosure as a mouth or enclosure, but if a box has an opening on it. Different from bucket. The bucket's the opening. Oh, we'll go over that. Don't worry. So anyway, so we have here's doctor. Let's go over the kanji first. All right. So let's control delete. Here's Heisig. Okay. So here we have rapidly tired, epidemic. Here we have his pain, mannerism. Now we have his box. Enclosure open on the right represents a box lying on its side. When you not use, and sometimes you'll see it with a little distorted. We'll draw that as well. Okay, so let's. Okay, so some ways you can see it. So remember, it's draw the top part, kind of like you're doing, and then draw the. All right, so it's not like you would do with mouth. It wasn't like side, top, bottom. It's top and then the side and bottom. That's the opening of the box. Don't confuse. Now, there's also this right here. You'll see, which is bucket, which is also different than you see here, which is, and something happens in here, enclosure. All right. So these are all different things. So we have box, bucket, enclosure, and they all do sort of different things in your stories, and it's so visual. So this is going to be a box. Box. All right. So now we have is doctor. Now we see his doctor as a box and darts, and the darts can be representing needles. Because he ran out of needles, so now he's using darts, and that's the best type of doctor he can. Maybe it's a witch doctor, so the tribal darts right there. Who knows? Okay, anyway, so here we have his doctor. Also refers to as medicine. Don't confuse it with doctor, which is specialist. In fact, let me make sure. Open link. Actually, no, I don't think we taught specialist. Let's see, doctor. No, okay. That's in part 2. So that's going to be showing up in part 2, so don't worry. You're going to have doctor in part 2, but don't worry about it. I'll have a note there to help you separate it. Box of dart. Okay, so doctor medicine. So here we have is E, medicine, the healing arts, and kusushi, doctor. Now sometimes you hear it as Isha, is also referring to doctor. Isha. So Igaku, medical science, medicine. Okay. Irio, medical care, medical treatment. You also might hear Irio for dragon. Irio, team medical dragon. But here we have Irio, medical care. Mei, noted doctor, an excellent physician. Of course, Doctor Strange coming out in Japan this month, so that's going to be kind of interesting. But yeah, so that's doctor. A box of darts represents a doctor's bag carrying the kanji doctor, carried by a kanji doctor, who is, maybe a kanji witch doctor. Here's Heisig. Here's box. Oh, in fact, before I get to this, let me just show you real quick. And he was saying here, sometimes you'll see off to the side, You'll see it like in almost like a 3 strokes. It'll be look kind of like that. I don't usually use that as box when it's like there because it's with something else, and we'll cover that when we get to it. Anyway, here's Heisig. So we have hide, artisan, doctor. Here we are, box and dart. Okay, so in the doctor opens up his box, and instead of needles, you find a bunch of. You're worried because you find a bunch of darts. What the fuck is he gonna be doing to you? All right, so we'll lay down. We'll do it. So lay down, and remember it's person. Okay, so there you go. So that's dart, box and darts, doctor. Okay, next kanji. Last one. Now we're going to introduce is Wolverine, which it's the katakana for May. But anyway, so this is ward. So this is not ward off. This is like a district or an area of the city. Ku, in fact, is the term for it. In fact, it says here, ku, ward, a district or a section of the city or a section of the town. Here we have is kubetsu. This first word, distinction, differentiation, classification. Ku, we already covered. Chiku, a district, a section, or a section, and this is probably of the map itself, on the map itself. So here we have a box and Wolverine. The homeless ward of the city. The Wolverine lives in a cardboard box there. Yeah, I can imagine like old man Wolverine, maybe he's protecting the homeless because they're being attacked in that ward. So the X-Man Wolverine. Here we go. Here's right there. Looks like he already covered sheaves, but let's we'll do it over here. So if you probably remember, I already covered like Su and then Me and then Su together for Chizu was right here. All right. So what I told you is this right here for Me, which is the vertical stroke, then the vertical and line. That's I'm going to call that, it's Mei for katakana, so you already learned that. But in the kanji stories, we're going to think of this as Wolverine. Okay. So now we hear the district. So it's like the if you want to think a ward. So think of the ward, or so it's like the mutant ward of the city, or mutant ward or mutant district, mutant ward or district city, part of the city. So. And it's been run down because nobody wants to give funding to that part of the city. Alright, so everybody lives in cardboard boxes, but it's protected by the X-Man Wolverine. Alright, so this is Ward. So this is Ku. Alright, next I think that's the last one. So, yeah. That's the last one. Let's see, how long was this? Alright, so this was a 50-minute lesson. That wasn't too bad. And this was fun. I actually had fun teaching this one. I always like it when it's has a really colorful primitives that I can work with, that are like good visual characters doing stuff. Darts is very visual, box is visual. Illness, you can kind of just see, okay, is this somebody in a hospital bed or something, or whatever you want to do for illness. But again, you're doing some clever things with illness. Like you learn the kanji for, like you learn time and illness. Okay, I'll just show it to you for fun. Okay, so let's say you have illness. Okay, so you already know how to do illness. Now let's say, what is an illness you get from monks who are or priests that are at the temple all day sitting on their bum? All right. So this is illness in time, or illness in time, and this is oh gosh, what is it? Gee, it's hemorrhoids. This is the kanji for hemorrhoids. There you go. And or what is it? Illness of convenience. So let's say if you eat convenient or fast food all the time. So let's say illness, and yeah, and convenience is like right there, or not. That's not convenience. This is profit. So in this case, this is diarrhea for whatever reason. This is kind of weird. I mean, these are just some visual stuff. It's kind of hard to forget these kanji. Okay. So anyway, you got. This can be for later. You don't have to memorize. It's not even part of the series at all. It's not even part of this first course at all. All right. So there we go. So we're at an hour 14 minutes. We've got 2 people are watching live. It may be higher. I don't know. I had it up to 4 people who are watching. And as No Milk Today was doing, or Soda and Yuzaki, or anyone, they can. If you got questions to ask, please ask, and I'll try to answer it. I need to be careful not to go into too many details, especially in the middle of the lesson, because this is meant for, because these lessons are meant to be archived for future viewing later. Definitely during my normal reviewing time when I'm not learning anything new, then yeah, all the questions are on the table. Yeah, you can ask me about anything not Japanese related. I wouldn't even care. Okay, so we got that. Let's see. How are we doing? Yeah, sorry. Okay. Okay, so that's there. I think what I'll probably do right now, I'm going to go on a quick break, get some more coffee. No, tell you what, we'll continue.
では最初に被害者の検視解剖の結果報告。
はい、司法解剖の結果、顔面にうっ血、首に絞殺の跡があり、ガイシャは何者かに首を。
No, sorry. Okay, there we go.
何これ？死体？人？
Alright, so it'll be about 4 minutes or so, and so if you've been following along, hopefully you were able to.
何なんですかこのマネキン
I
み
don't
た
know.
いな。
I did the second episode on video. I didn't do the first episode. I did this on my own.
当
But
社が開発中の新商品
Yeah.
ナイトシリーズの01型で
this
す
is episode 1.
まあ簡単に言うと恋人カタログ
First, so again, be back about 4 minutes or so. I need to get some more coffee and water.
だけどあなたが理想の恋人を紹介するって言うから。
ですから理想の恋人ですロボットの
ロボットのって
お客様のご希望通りの性格オプションをプログラム済みですので心ゆくまで楽しんで
待ってください。こんなロボット。まずはキスをして起動させましょう。キス？いや、ありえないって。なんか人間みたい。なんだ動かないじゃん。あ、遅刻。
この放送はドコモグループ、資生堂、大和ハウス、小林製薬、サントリー P&G の提供でお送りします。
新商品のコンセプトは改革だ。新しく一括工場生産へと切り替え、朝本は世界ブランドとなるべく大きな改革の時期を迎えている。次の新作発表会は海外のプレスも招待した大々的なイベントだが、それに関して営業部の石関からいい知らせがある。
スイーツ界の名門雑誌コンフィズリーは皆様もよく知るところでしょう。 中でもカリスマ編集長ソフィー・ルクレールに商品を高く評価されることはこの業界に携わる者全ての願いです。
Definitely not looking at YouTube while I'm on streaming online. This is asking for trouble.
続けてコンフィズリーのカリスマ編集者ソフィー・ルクレールが当社の新作発表会に
Pause that. Remember, this guy's an asshole. Likes to really big asshole. Okay, and okay, where are we at? Why did I do that? We were did not need to do that. All right, so we're on lesson 34. Let's go to lesson 34. Okay, and then 35, 36, 37. Done. And then summary on what to do next. And what I'll probably do, I'll tell you what do you think? Do you think I should like create multimedia like before each one and link to the video, or just in one of these just link, list all 6 videos? I think it's probably better if I do individually 36 of them, and then before each one, link to that video that's teaching that lesson, and it'd probably be better for the students. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll even probably do that for yeah, because I think I did a link to the I think I did that for, let me go to groups. Now I'm wondering, did I do that? Come here. Alright, so here's remembering the kanji, or remembering the kana. Yeah, okay, so I did it individually here, so I'll do it as well. Okay, so I'll do that as well. That's fair. Alright, and since we just did 33, I'll tell you what, let's go to groups. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. Here. Alright. So I'll keep the resources for lessons here. I'll keep each of those individually, but also have a video lesson. I'll call it the video lesson for 31. I'll leave it at that. That should be more than doable. Okay, and we are here. And before I begin, let me go and let's do some refreshing, see if anything pops up. Okay, click on new here, and let's see, is anything on Mumble? Let's see, nothing for Mumble that I'm seeing. Now what do we got? Let's see, got one message. Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys, let me just see what this guy's saying, just for fun. I'm going to compress a bunch of long story short. Trevor to live in Tokyo 2 months. Very proactive overall. However, since I returned home, studies have vaulted. Okay, yeah, no. Learning a language as a working adult, or learning a language effectively as a working adult, is not easy. How should I memorize the vocabs by hiragana only? Good God, you're making life harder. Making it harder by just keeping it to hiragana. Kanji makes memorizing vocabulary a lot easier, personally. Let's see what he's saying. I started learning Japanese by myself a couple months ago. Mastered hiragana katakana. Learned down quite an amount of kanji. Questions been on my mind. It's okay for me to only memorize all vocabs in hiragana only. For example, memorize inu instead of that. I mean, a lot of people have done it. You just, you're kind of you're making it difficult for yourself, because you're not literate yet. All right, you know how to say a word, but you don't know, what the word is. Yeah, but if you don't know how to read, you're not gonna be literate. You're not gonna be able to read text, because and it just, the way Japanese works is because it's a more visual. The literature is more visual because of the kanji. You can actually read a lot faster, because again, I've seen it. I've seen people just go through paper really fast because they're not vocalizing it. It's almost like it's more of a program language. Kind of weird when I realized it's like, yeah, we can do that with English as well if you don't vocalize it in your head when you're reading. Like if you're not sounding out the words in your head, with your inner ear, not inner ear, I guess is a bad word, but with the voice in the back of your head. If you don't do that, you can actually read much faster. I mean, people can get and I'm not saying you memorize what you've read, but you can definitely read faster. I'm kind of wondering what they say about it. Alright, anyway, so let's see. Quick question about your Anki deck. Alright, I'm sorry, I know this is a private message, but here we go. Recently had someone send me a copy of a deck that you made, which was taken down due to copyright related on I know. Started the deck tonight, noticed that the first instance was on the first section of your Memorize course, which I had completed already. Is there an easy way I can filter out? Oh boy. Yeah. I'll answer. I mean, but yeah, it's just because they both have the same core index. So just figure out that they all have the same core index list. So just get that and just say, hey, get rid of those that have the suspend all those that have the same core index number. That's easy enough. And okay, yeah. So nothing real new. Yeah, let's see what he's saying. I like to see what some of the comments are. Yeah. If you want to stay illiterate, yeah, that's no problem. It's way harder than that. Seems way harder than learning kanji. Yeah, I agree. And whatnot. Okay, no big deal. And let's see. Why does Fukuoka? I don't know, just maybe accent or something. Let's do this. Let's get back to the grind. It's not a grind though. It's been pretty fun. Let's see what we got today. So this is lesson 34. Here's what the orders we're going to be going into are. All right. So we got ascend or TP. So we got TP. We got what I call the. All right. So that's Groundskeeper Willie. That's Mystique from the X-Men. Let's see. What else do we have? There's Groundskeeper Willie. Then we got Sparklers and got Mysterious. We got this little thing. Then we're introducing red. Okay, we're going to learn colors. And then finally Rubik's Cube. Okay, and then this is a bushel box. Okay, this should be fun. Alrighty. Lesson 34. Let's do it. Alright, so time is now 1 hour 26 minutes. 26 minutes 50 seconds. Still the 14th. Alright, and we can begin. And welcome back. This is Nuke Marine presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy course series on Memorize. Currently this is course number 3, Remembering the Kanji Optimized, part 1, which is the 555 kanji from the first book of the Coscom series, 2001.kanji.odyssey, and presenting those in Remembering the Kanji order for easier learning. Currently on this course, we are on lesson 34, and we're very close to finishing. You're very close to finishing this course and be able to move on into grammar and vocabulary, and essentially putting all this kanji, the last 36 hours of learning hiragana, katakana, and kanji can now be put to use to learning actual Japanese, both grammar and vocabulary. All right, and with that we can start. All right, and what I'd like to say is if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button. And also you consider subscribing if you haven't already, especially if you've been visiting enough to where you're up to lesson, the 34th lesson of this. And if you find that this video or the video series in general or any of the video playlists that I happen to have, you can share either the channel, those playlists, or these videos with other people on social media. Also, what I do kindly request you do when you finish this course is, if you've got some type of testimonial to give, go onto social media, either Reddit or Twitter or Facebook or whatnot, and give testimonials about how either good or how bad this course has been. Especially if you, again, I like to hear actual honest critique, whether it's complimentary or derogatory. It's fine as long as it's honest. That's what I'd like to hear. Okay, so when we on this level, same as always, we're going to have the Heise keyword. Keyword is going to be roughly associated to the meaning of this, a meaning that can be associated with words used as kanji. I will also be giving other meanings to these words. The keyword has the benefit of giving you the story or the visual imagery of story. Then from that story, have parts in there that help you build this kanji from memory. I will be showing vocabulary words to use as kanji. Again, the purpose of it is not to memorize vocabulary or the pronunciation of vocabulary. That will be happening very soon. You'll be getting vocabulary for the grammar, but the main thing where you'll be learning and actually getting for pronunciation and especially for pronunciation of kanji, is in the vocabulary section, the vocabulary courses, because the way I have that sorted. You'll be seeing that soon. Yeah, so again, this course takes 30 hours. The grammar course, the first one should take about 10 hours, hopefully. And then you have a vocabulary is going to take 15, 20 hours. Because, again, it'll be 500 vocabulary words. But again, that's when you're really going to realize is, okay, is this working? That's when all this starts coming together. So hopefully you're feeling excited that, okay, hey, you're getting. It's always good to get near the end of a course and getting ready to move on to the next part of your training. All right, because this does. And this big reason why I designed the courses this way is that they're still small enough to be digestible without becoming actually just overwhelming. Because by now it's like, okay, cool, kanjis are down pat. You actually probably been doing reviews if you've been up to this point and you've been going over those in your head. Awesome, and now it's time to put those to it's time to put them to use. All right, so feel excited about that. So only got 4 more. This is the 4th lesson from the last. So we got 35, 36, and 37 after this, and you are done, ready to move it on. Okay, so let us begin. So the key word here is ascend, which is to climb up or go higher. Now this could be ascend as in to raise something up onto something, or ascend as in to climb. Ascend a mountain, ascend a set of stairs, climb up. All right, so this is nobodu, to climb, to go up the stairs, go up in an elevator, nobodu. Towed on, going on a platform. Toko, attendance, going to school. Wait, let me make sure. Okay, good, I am on the right kanji. Would have felt silly. Okay, let's see here. It is Tozan, mountain climbing. Tojo, en route, halfway. Oh wait, sorry, ignore that. That was not that's the wrong word. Tojo is the 3rd word. Attendance at a castle. All right, so let's look at this. We're going to learn this is a TP. So we already learned table. We have table here, or bean. We're going to think of it as table, and then we have TP. So let's go with TP first. So we're going to go to Heisig, and we're going to learn the TP. So we got ward. This is from the last lesson. Our last word character we learned was ward. So some kanji that we're skipping over. Hinge, assault, Europe, repress, face up, welcome. Now here we have is TP. So it looks like we have crotch, or a version of crotch, and then we're having a chair on the side. And what you're saying, the dots are the TP, the wooden poles protruding from the TP. Alright, so let's teach TP. Control delete. Alright, so if you want to, first thing, it looks kind of like crotch, but we want to do kind of like foo, right there. So you can say this is like the opening of the TP, the opening flap of the TP. And then we also have the little supporting structure the other side, so it kind of looks like an umbrella with an open flap inside. Okay. Am I drawing that right? Something feels off about that. Yeah, okay, so it is. Okay, that is doing. Yeah, I'm doing this right. Really? 3, 4, 5. I don't like that. Yeah, I thought. Alright, let me make sure. Search for. Alright, so normally if I feel a conflict, I'm gonna check it out first. So stroke order. Oh. Okay. Alright, so here we go. That's not helping. Well, that doesn't help. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it looks like it's doing that. Okay, yeah, but all these are showing okay, so it's kind of like water, kind of like we do with water. Okay, I'll buy that. All right. Okay. Glad something felt off. All right, so we got there. What we want to do is similar to when we did water. In fact, you can count with it. See right there? Almost feels like we're doing these 2 strokes here, and we're just adding something. That's interesting. All right. All right. Sorry. So we're going to do here. All right. So it feels like all we just added to this part of water, and then we just added the 2 little strokes there. Okay. There we go. So this is TP. TP. So you can say this like it looks like an umbrella that has a little flap open up, and there's the little two sticks of the TP. So anyway, TP. So this is, and something's happening inside the TP. In this case, we're going to go with ascend. So when you want the story goes like this. In American Indian legend, an Indian warrior goes into a teepee, stands on a table, and ascends. I don't think goes on TV, stands on the table. What I want to say is like is with inside the teepee, you put the warrior on the table itself, and he set the teepee on fire, and then he ascends into heaven as spirit and smoke and ash. He, you know, that's how he ascends into heaven. So it's like a Viking funeral if you want to. But yeah, teepee on the table and ascend, or yeah. You also say climbing up on a table to ascend and go higher. Do not confuse with rise up. Do I have, that's in a different kanji anyway. I haven't taught you that one yet. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, so let's do TP. So we're going to do the first left side of the TP. Okay, then we want to do, let's do this in parts anyway. Okay, now we got the TP. Now we need to do the table inside. Remember what is table, but I don't know why I'm doing this by strokes. But remember table is that. Now we need to do the legs and the base of the table. Okay, so there's the top of the table. There's the, see the side of the table, and then we do the legs of the table. So this is ascend. That's the warrior strapped blades out on the table in the TP, set it on fire for him to ascend into heaven, ascend into the gods, ascend. Next kanji, discharge. Now, discharge or departure, publish or to emit something. Start from. Let's see, hatsu. Let's see what it's supposed to be. D. Departing from, departing at, hatsu. So that to discharge, it means like honorable discharge, to go from the movie. And let's see, it's also counter for gunshots and counter for blows. And let's see, here we have is hatsume, invention, discharging idea, I guess. Hasha, departure of vehicles. So discharge of vehicles, departure of vehicles. Topatsu, outbreak or occurrence. Hossa, hossa, fit or a spasm. Okay, hotan, the beginning. And then haki, proposal resolution. Okay, discharge or admit. Alright, so here's the story. So you get TP, you got, it looks like instead of hands it's like two legs. Instead of two hands it's two legs. TP. Two sets of legs sticking out or discharging from the, you know there's a discharge happening inside. Oh, anyway, so discharge or admit. You see a TP, and you know it's two sets of human legs are sticking out the door. You guess there will soon be a discharge of some sort soon. He says something's about to be admitted, which is, okay. Yeah, so I was using a sex, yes, it's a sex joke. Okay. Let's see what Heisig brings up. So we have ascend, lucidity, water, discharge. This is referring to the discharge of guns, trains, people, or even words. Okay, so this, so in this case, it's a discharge like a, you know, the man comes out and discharges semen, climax, whatever. Yes, I am explaining the joke. All right, I apologize. So let's do discharge. Discharge. All right, so there's the TP. So let's do the TP. There's the right side. We'll do the left side of the TP. And what's happening inside the TP are two sets of human legs. There's two pairs of human legs. Two pairs of human legs. And then remember, the human legs is peg leg, club foot. Discharge. Discharge. Next kanji. Hatsu, shipatsu, I think. Shape. Now, yeah. So this is a form, shape, a form or a style. So we have this here is katachi, a form, shape, or a figure. Kata, shape or appearance. They also have K as form or tense. So this can be a reference to physical shapes. It also, I think, sometimes refers to words or whatnot, but normally physical shapes. So we have kata. In this case, it's saying the 1, 2, 3, fifth word, shape, appearance, collateral, and then katachi, which is the, yeah, three kanji that have that similar meaning: form, shape, or figure. Keitai. normally here keitai as a phone, so that's not the word we're worrying about. We're worried about the second and third word, which is form, shape, or figure, keitai. Keisei, formation, molding, or taking form, shaping something. Zuke, figure, shape, or graphic. That's interesting. Okay. Gyoso, a look or an expression. Ningyo. So this is a word for doll or puppet. Yeah, and this is you learned this word early on because it's like a toy. But ningyo. Okay. Now for this, you're going to see two hands, and this right here, the slash. It's like similar to the mi, but it's in a different direction for the katakana for mi. But so these slashes you're going to think of as being shape, or in this case Mystique, which I think of as a shapeshifter. Mystique, the shapeshifter from the X-Men, transforms both hands into different shaped tools to fool her opponent or something. Or what I imagine is like both her hands go. You see her hands moving down her body, and then her shape of her body changes as she moves her hands down her body. So anyway, or some people would say like this right here, ritual scarring or tattooing, or maybe like another person who uses for shape is I think they might use. I visualize the Nightcrawler from the second is it the second X-Men? Second X-Men, or where he has like all the scarring on his face or whatnot. So if you want to do that, you can do scarring. The visuals are however you choose. So anyway, so here we have is discharge, abolish, pup tent. We'll go over that if we have to. Colleague, dormitory, heal. So here we have a shape, 3 strokes. Avoid confusion later when we meet the element for hair. Okay. Alright, so let's introduce shape. So we'll Control-Delete. So first thing is, let's show shape. Now, we have here, don't confuse it with right here. This is me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, me. Well, we're doing shape, so it's top left to down right. So 1, 2, 3. It might be on left side, or normally it's on the left side. There is one case where it's on the left side. Normally it's on the right side. It's over here. Okay, so in this case now we're going to do shape. So remember, I just visualize 2 hands. So Mystique in her 2 hands. All right, and then 2 hands is again like maybe 2 hands that are holding the umbrella stand, the peg leg and straight leg umbrella stand. All right, and so Mystique's 2 hands are going down her body as her shape changes. All right, that's shape. To shape something, take shape, take the form. Next kanji, sentence. All right, so this can mean sentence, literature, a style, or art. Also decorations, figures, or plans, but normally it's dealing with sentences or literature. So in this case, you have as boon, sentence or text. Oya, a figure or design. Fumi, letters or writing. And then I think they said finally mon. Yeah, okay, that's okay. So here we have is bungaku, literature. We have bunga, elegant or refined style. Bunka, culture or civilization, or the bunka era. Then we have bunka as in the second one, which is a literary course or the arts. Then we have bunka, third one down, specialization. Then we have bunka further down. You see how it changes based on the second kanji, the department or section of a branch. Alright, we'll leave it at that. So, sakubun, composition or writing. Okay, saku means to work or make something. We have as moji. This takes more of a, I think, mon or moji. So this is a letter of the alphabet, a literal character, A, B, C, D, or kana. Let's see, we have kyomon, study or Buddhist theory. Tenmongaku, astronomy. I didn't know that. Actually, I don't know a lot of these words. Alright, so here's a kanji for it, or here's a story for it. So you see right here. It should not be a problem to see this as sentence. For the primitive, anyway, so it's like a hat and a little 2 stands, so maybe that's like almost looks like the resting place for the globe. I'm not sure how you say that's for sentence, but For primitive, think Scottish accent plaid coat. Guess it's gonna look like a beret wearing Scott. This isn't my story then. The way some people were saying was Billy Connolly because of his Scottish accent. I think Groundskeeper Willie is better because that's a cartoon character from The Simpsons. Anyway, maybe even Sean Connery because of his Scottish accent. But yeah, when we see this, it's Scotsman, if it helps, or plaid kilt, whatever you want to do. Here's Heisig, real quick. So you got shape. We already did that. So he did shape, 2 hands in shape. Shadow, cedar, coloring, pattern, lad. Oh, okay, we're getting, getting some more shapes. Face, ought, swell, visit, wretched, discipline, rare, checkup. Now we get his sentence. So there's the top hat. So think about a sentence about the man wearing top hat, and then maybe the little strokes there for the legs can represent like his little cross tie as he gives a proper, as he's speaking in front of the school, giving a great sentence, or that could be like the little, I guess when you see what the professors wear over their graduation gowns when they're attending the graduate ceremony for their students. They're wearing the hat of the graduation, and the nice little, I forgot the term for it, but decorative. Okay, probably should have a better word, but yeah. So imagine this is like the professor, nice little dress. He's giving out eloquent sentences. If you want to visualize the strokes for this, now, and he was saying here's plaid or crisscross patterns, but I think for visuals, let's do a new story here. Okay, so when we think of sentence, so just think of this could be in this case the hat. The top hat is the beret. The Scotsman wearing the beret, speaking eloquent sentences, although he always sounds like he's angry about something. So, and or if you want to think fat bastard, that could work as well. However you want to do it, whatever you want to work for visualizing this. When you hear a sentence, though, it's top hat and these two little cross formats for sentences. Sentence. Next kanji. All right, so here we have is vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis, opposite, even, equal, or versus someone, anti, compare against. And here you kind of see right there the Billy Connolly is showing up. But probably a lot of people don't know who he is anymore. He was a comedian at one time, played in some movies. Boondog Saints. So anyway, vis-a-vis. Let's see, here we have his tie. Opposite or opposition, versus. And also sui, or pair or couple. So don't confuse this with vying. That's what. Don't confuse it with vi. So it's vis-a-vis. Here we have is tairitsu, confrontation, opposition, antagonism. Zettai dami desu, or zettai. You'll hear this a lot in dramas and anime. Absolutely, unconditionally, absolute, unmistakable. Zettai. Hantai, oppose, resistance, antagonism. Boku wa hantai desu. Ore wa hantai desu. I disagree. Hantai. Tsuiku, couplet or antithesis. And then itsui, pair of screens or vases. A pair of something. Alright, so here we have is, now we got the Scotsman and the glue gun vis-a-vis, so maybe it's like the Groundskeeper Willie is going around competing with the glue gun of who can fix up the school signs the fastest, vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis. And maybe you can even hear him say this in a Scottish accent if you can pull that off. I can't, but versus. So in this case, yeah, vis-a-vis or versus. Kilt is glued onto boxer matches, turned into boxing versus an opponent to rip off the opponent's guard when things get rough. Okay. I guess I was saying, like, yeah, glue, you gotta, if vis-a-vis, if the Scotsman's going to go into a competition with others, you need to make sure his kilt doesn't go up over and expose himself, so he glues his kilt down to his legs with the glue gun, if you want to do it that way. So plaid or Scotsman and the glue gun. Alright, so let's do the Scotsman. Now, if you notice, we're going to do, it's over here, since it's on the right side, I'm sorry, if it's a left side radical, it looks a little differently. It looks like the meh. If you saw that, it looks like meh. In fact, let's show it. Okay, here it is. So it kind of looks like meh, and not even attached that well, if at all. Okay, and then so we got, but again, it still counts as the Scotsman. And then you can do the glue gun. Do the glue gun. All right, and that's vis-a-vis or versus, vis-a-vis, versus, opposing, opposite. Next kanji. Now we have his finish. Now here you have the Scotsman, and there's his little Scotsman legs, because maybe he picked up his kilts. So you see the Scotsman leg and two little things hanging below it. Because again, you got to adjust the two things between his legs. Sorry. Okay, and this is water. But anyway, this is finish, to come to an end, excusable or need not, finish. Sumu, to end something. Let's see, does it say that? Sumi, arranged, taken care of, settled, completed. Zumi, arranged or taken care of, okay. Hensai, stop that. Repayment, reimbursement, refund. Kyusai, relief, aid, rescue. Keizai, I don't know why, this means economics. Keizai, business, finance, keizai. Alright, so think of finish. So you go off the idea that adjust is the Scotsman adjusting the two parts between his legs. And if you know that tossing water on that, discussing that will make him finish what he's doing. Yeah, so that's... Alright, so we'll get to adjust and we'll show it with... Okay, so anyway, so here we have his sentence, or the vis-a-vis, family crest, mosquito. Now here it says fence post. I've been using umbrella stand, so that's fine. But this could also be the two legs of the Scotsman legs. If you want fence post, that works as well. Probably because of the two little strokes in between it, something happening in between the legs. Umbrella stand, personally, I'll keep it with that. But anyway, we got adjusted, and then we have finish, which works with adjusted. So let's do with that. All right. So when you say finished, all right, you're seeing when you're going to get dogs to stop an act, you want to throw water on them. You know, if they're having sex, you want to stop. You throw water on them. Same thing. If you want to stop the Scotsman from adjusting his stuff from his legs, adjust between his legs, then you want to. That is the word for it, right? Finish. You want the Scotsman to finish what he's doing fast. You need to throw water on him. So okay, so water is thrown. When you hear something finish, think of throwing water on something to finish it. In this case, what are you stopping? Is this the Scotsman? So we're going to do Scotsman. All right, and what has Scotsman done? So he's kind of like picked up his kilt. All right, and you can see the little two legs. And I'll do this in order. Make sure I'm not messing this up. Yeah, it's 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I thought so. All right. So what is he doing? So he's adjusting, and this is what adjusting. So say a leg, the two things between his legs. In this case, yeah, make sure his balls don't stick together. I'm not very good at euphemisms. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so that's finish, to finish, to complete. Okay, finish. Throw water on the Scotsman who's adjusting the two things between his legs, so he'd make him stop. Are you finished yet? Throw water. Boom. Yes, you are finished now. Next kanji. Okay, so we're seeing here white and tree, and we're going to learn this sparkler. So anyway, this is music. Music could also mean comfort or ease. And that's odd. You're seeing tenoshi. This also means enjoyable, comfort and ease. So that's what tenoshi means. It's fun or it's enjoyable. Tanoshimu, to enjoy something. Also see right here, raku, comfort or ease. But also ongaku, which is music. This is, do we have that yet? So it's right there. So anyway, so gakutai, band or an orchestra. So it's relating to music. Gaki, second word, musical instruments. Then we have ongaku, which is music or musical instruments. But now that's for gaku when it's in gaku form. When it's in raku form, it's more of a comfort or pleasure. So it's a raku-en, pleasure garden or a paradise. Dairaku, pleasure. Also kairaku, pleasure, or second word is enjoying oneself with others. Goraku, pleasure or amusement. Okay, so anyway, so it has two different meanings. So it could be musical or pleasurable music. When you hear music, think pleasurable music to kind of get you both meanings in there. All right, so it's music, but it also means pleasure or comfort. All right, so let's see it. We're seeing white, sparklers, and tree. Yeah, music, white, dove, sparklers, tree, and wood. All right, so let's go to Heisig real quick, see what he says to say. All right, so we were at adjusted, we had dose, then we have finish, purification, solemn. Now we have is sparklers. So let's introduce sparklers. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the kind of like with rice. If you remember we were doing rice, if you kind of remember, we did this, then we did the two things here, then we did a. Sometimes you see the two things over here. So sparklers are just 1, 2, 3. See the directions of the stroke? 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like. I think we already learned, you know, a trillion or something, or cho. We'll see that as well. But yeah, sparklers, sparks. I think, I think we learned that early on. But anyway, so this is sparklers. Now let's see what we have here. We have Heisig, sparkler, basses. Here we have music. So we have dove, sparkler, trees. So here's the stroke order. So do the white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you finish off with the tree. So think about hearing music. So you hear think of it like the big musical number where again the white doves fly off because you know it's a Prince, maybe it's a Prince musical, and then you see sparks flying out, all right? And then for some reason he's singing on top of a tree, you know, climbing on a tree and saying "When doves cry," the music of when doves cry or something. Let's draw it. Okay. So again, think of music. Think of the music of when white doves cry. So here's the white. Okay, all right, and then this music video from the '80s. So obviously you're going to know there's going to be sparklers all over the place. Sparks, and it's doves, and it's basically in the middle of a forest because you know that's what you do. All right. Anyway, this is music, or enjoyable, pleasurable. Next kanji. Now we have is medicine. So we have a plant that brings pleasure, or a plant that makes you feel like you're hearing music is medicine. It's like music to your pains and ills, medicine. Now this is legal medicine. So kusuri. Kusuri is legal medicine. Pharmaceuticals, efficacious chemicals. Because there is a term for more illicit drugs they use. So yakuzai, medicine or drug. Yakkyoku, pharmacy, chemist, drugstore. Yakkyoku, yakuin or yakusha. It's either yakuin or yakusha. I'm not sure about the pharmacist. But yeah, kayaku, gunpowder, powder. But yeah, mainly chemicals, medicines. But in this case, sometimes gunpowder. But okay. So here we have flower, and you can make it flowers and music. Or flower and music is like medicine. It's definitely flowers, because that's like the first forms of medicine were flowers and plants and flowers. And then you want to make sure it's something that made your mind at ease or comfort, or hear music. Okay, so let's see what Heisig has to say on the matter. So he just says flowers and music, so no big deal there. All right, so let's do this. Medicine. Oh, flowers were the earliest form of medicines. Oh yeah, you get that white. Get the flowers you want to make sure though you only pick flowers that animals would eat, otherwise you knew that it was probably poisonous. So you knew that if the bird was eating it, it was good, and it was really effective. The little sparks or pain in your knees would maybe start going away. Alright, and then not only was it from flowers, and maybe also the medicine that you picked up, was also from maybe the various leaves and bark and roots from trees. All right, so flower, white, sparks, tree, medicine. Next kanji. Ratio. We're going to learn. Well, you already kind of learned cocoon, and we're going to learn mysterious. Ratio. Now this could be don't confuse this with proportion. Wanibiki. I tell you what, let's do it. Ratio, proportion. Not. Okay. We'll do Wanibiki. Oh, hey, stop that. Wanibiki. Okay. Not Wanibiki. Okay. See. Okay, not. Okay, so that's proportion. So we got proportion, we got ratio. They're kind of similar to each other on what they mean. Okay, so we have ratio. So it says a rate, proportion, percentage of some coefficient, a factor. So here we have is a hikiiru, ritsu, rate, ratio, proportion. Sosen, so sotsu, sosen. Third word there, taking the initiative. Insotsu, leading, commanding. Keisotsu, rash, thoughtless, careless. Okay. Hiritsu. So here, I guess for ritsu, it deals with proportion. So ratio, proportion, percentage. No ritsu, effective, efficiency, moment. Also a magnetic moment. Hiyaku, yakubun ritsu, a percentage of something. Yakubun ritsu. Okay, that makes 100 parts, and ritsu is how many of those 100 parts. Okay, ratio. So here it's quite mysterious how each sparkler gives off sparkles at the precise ratio of 10 to 1. So here's like mysterious sparkles in 10 is the story there. This is known as the sparkler effect. So 10 spin sparkles per sparkler, the sparkler effect, and is why stars look like they sparkle in the night sky. I don't know, I made that shit up, but it was just kind of a good for it. So here we have his ratio. Mysterious, don't confuse with proportion. Alright, ratio. So let's draw this. So we start on sparkler. So first thing we need to teach is mysterious. So mysterious is actually early on. So it's a top hat and cocoon, which is thread or something, kind of like the first part of Spider-Man. So that's cocoon. So it's when it's thinking of mysterious, it's like think of what I was saying, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, because it's a cocoon. So you see a little hat on something that's just a cocoon. So it's a mysterious thing about what's inside. You know, a cocoon with just a hat on. You don't know what's inside that. It's a mystery of what's inside that cocoon. Could be any. All right. So now we want to do is ratio, or yeah, this is ratio, right? Not proportion. Yeah, ratio. Alright, so we think of ratio, think of the mysterious sparkler effect. So let's do mysterious. So we do the top hat. I'm going to do top hat and the cocoon, which is a very mysterious figure wearing a... Alright, and we do the sparks, because it's the... probably want to do the sparks a little bigger, but... Okay, so maybe a little bigger. Okay, so we got hat, cocoon, sparks here. Then we want to do the mysterious sparkle ratio, because it gives off at a rate of 10 to 1, a ratio of 10 to 1. Alright, there's the, there it is. Ratio, mysterious sparkle ratio, gives off 10 to 1. Boom, 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 boom. And here's the stroke order, just to make sure I'm not lying to you. So there it goes. Do the hat, do the cocoon, do the sparks, boom, 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 then do the 10. And you can see it looks up a little higher. The 10 is a little more. It's more pushed up. The 10 is a bit more pronounced. Okay, next kanji. England. Alright, we're going to learn the center part here for center. But it's skipping over that. So flowers in the center, and fresh flowers are placed every day at the exact center of London, maybe to represent the flowers to the Queen. Or you could say it's like, or the one where they... Never mind, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is England. English. Now, the reason why this says England, similar to the reason why rice is referring to America, or the Ito or Kimi, is that, again, in like the 1800s, they pronounced it, they were using these kanji as for the pronunciation value, and then they added, they were pronouncing America with, you know, rice was used as part of the kanjis that were used to make out America in kanji. And then, so England is, I think it's Igirisu, and then this is one of the kanji that was utilized in forming the pronunciation of Igirisu or something like that. So this is England, and you say Igirisu, so abbreviation for Britain. AU, hero or a great man, okay. Eidan, resolution, decision, judgment. So it doesn't have, again, these words don't have association with this keyword. This keyword is because this is a common abbreviation for referring to U.S., to England, sorry. All right, so let's go with the story. So last kanji was ratio. have astringent. This is Shibuya. Shinjuku? No, yeah, this is Shibuya. Vicarious. Vicarious. Okay, so here we'll learn center, which is a later kanji. We'll learn this kanji at a later time, but so let's learn center. Now we already know this is inside, or in. That's in. And then we learned this was inside. So now we're going to learn is center. So center is, so imagine there's a mouth, and then it's think of a big dog, and like in the center of town, you want to keep, if you want to think of this as a muzzle, you can, of big dog if you want to, or it could be this is the, maybe if you want to think of center like the center of town, and this is like a Ferris wheel, and this is the person in the center of the Ferris wheel, so he doesn't spin too much, or at the merry-go-round, and he's in the center, so he doesn't, you know, revolve as fast as being on the outside. You want to be in the center so you can stay on the merry-go-round when it's going faster and faster. Center. Okay, so we've covered that. So that's center. Now we want to go to depicts the depiction of Saint Bernard with his head and paws keeping their stick-like form, but in the center or middle of a box. So yeah, it's like a Saint Bernard, kind of like in the middle of a box is the way he's using it. You can also use person. That works as well. Now we have is England, and this is used to abbreviation identify a country by the pronunciation. Okay, so there's not much he can tell you about it. If you see these in other words, it has nothing to do with England at all. But first thing you want to think of England. Think of the flowers that are given to the Queen in honor of the Queen. And we want to do center, so we're going to do the box first. Maybe that big dog is in the center of. So there's the big dog, and then we want to draw the dog involved. So maybe that's like the British bulldog. So you say, if you want to. So in the center of the box is that British bulldog sniffing the flowers to make sure that they're fine. They're fine for the, or safe for the presentation to the Queen. However you want to do it. But this is center. I'm sorry, this is England. This is center, this is England. Next kanji. And I think we're going to do reflection. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do reflect. So this is the A of Ega. We already learned the other one, but so we're about to learn the word movie. So this is reflect, reflection, or a projection. It's a little bit better, projection. So it's a utsuru, to reflect, or I think shine. I think like the moon shining. Haeru. Anyway, so here we have Eiga, a movie or film, or projection of a picture. Projecting a picture is a film. That's what a movie does, at least in a theater, movie theater. Joe, screening a movie, showing, or to screen a movie. And then we have Hane, which is a reflection or an influence. Okay, so that means we got sun and center. So the sun reflects from the center. What I'm saying is like the sun's reflecting off the center of a mirror. So you want to make sure to reflect the sun properly. You got to make sure that you center the mirror on the sun and then aim it. Center the mirror, then aim the mirror at. So what you could do for reflecting a perfect reflection from the mirror to shine out, let's say reflect the light to somewhere distant, is you put a hole in the center of the. You put a hole at the center of the mirror, okay, and then you hold the mirror just way to where on one side that there's a mirror on both sides. So you want to have it to where it's kind of weird if you ever see it. It's like it's called a signaling mirror. Let's see if we can get a word for that. Did I close it out? So tell you what, let me bring this up over here. Signaling mirror. Signaling mirror. So see if we get in luck. Okay, here we are. Okay, view image. Alright, so here's what I'm showing you. So what he's holding up is something that's a mirror on both sides. What he wants to be able to do is he's holding it up to the sun. So what he holds it up with the looking through the hole at the object he wants to reflect the light to. And he's also got his hand up to see the light shining through the hole onto his hand. On this side of the mirror, if he can put it to where the hole of the light that's shining on his hand is lined up with that hole in the center of the mirror, and he's still looking at the airplane, because of the way geometry works, you know that the light from the sun is also being reflected straight to the airplane. So that's center or reflect. Okay. So there, now you learned some science today. You're welcome. Okay, so reflect, sun and center. There we go. Okay, so when you hear reflect, think of that signaling mirror. Think of reflect, think of that signaling mirror. So there's the sun, and it has to deal with dealing with the sun in the center of that mirror, through the hole in the center of that mirror. So there's the sun, there's the center, there's the big dot, or you can do the big dot. Okay, center, sun and center. Next kanji. All right, now we're going to be going into red, and this is the color red. There might be a slightly not as deep dark red, like crimson. It's a bit more of a lighter shade of red, because there is another kanji for deep and dark. Okay, so here we have is aka, red, crimson, scarlet, red containing color. Okay, aka. Yeah, so you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth and the sixth word, red, crimson, scarlet. What do we have? Akai is an adjective for red. Akaramu, akarui is a little different, and akabo is about child, but okay. Sekido, the equator. I don't know why. Oh, I guess because maybe it says usually the equator is marked with a red line. That might be a reason. On the globes. Let's see. Sekihin, extreme poverty. That's interesting. Maybe that's a. Oh, okay. I bet you that has to do with redlining the districts on the map, like kind of highlighting the areas of the poor areas. You don't want to give loans out in town. That's a illegal practice nowadays in the U.S. and also in Japan. Let me see. Hatsuaka, I don't know what that. Let's see. Shakudo, first word. Hakudo. Okay. A gold copper alloy. Go figure. Oh, anyway, this is red. There's a number of stories here, but anyway, what you're seeing is dirt or tin, and then you're seeing it's like a version of saber, kind of looks like peg leg, but this is going to be a version of saber and then 2 little dots. So here's the story real quick. A small sword or saber, a small saber is stuck in the ground, signaling the end of war. Red war. Note how the 2 lines of the sword replace the middle of the small. Or you can also say those 2 little drops could be like 2 little drops of red blood that are falling off the sword that drop into the ground to kind of remind you that, you know, this is hallowed ground. This is where blood has been spilled. You know, so this is the dirt. The ground is turned red with blood because there's a saber stuck in the ground. There's the drops of blood all over the place. So that could be red. Let's look at Heisig real quick because I know what he's going to do. So we have reflect. Now here we have his red, and he's going to show that this is in different kanji. It's going to be a little bit differently. And he's going to want you to think of a red apple when you see it that way, which makes sense. So here we have his, when it's a little change, when it goes from dirt and it just becomes a dot, like maybe the dot of red on the ground is, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, he's not giving too much. I'm trying to say, like, so here you see his red, here is pardon, but up here it's apple because of the way it doesn't use dirt. It's using just the top hat as opposed to it. Okay, so let's draw this. Alright, so this is apple, or red, sorry. Alright, so we want to do red. So we want to think of the ground is red with blood. So we want to do ground or dirt. The dirt is red with blood. Alright, and then the next two is one do the, kind of like what we call the umbrella stand, which also he was saying it was 2 legs. Umbrella stands here, 2 legs, and then what you want to do is the 2 little dashes. There's the dirt, there's the 2 umbrella stand legs, there's 2 dashes. This is red, aka, red, akai. 2 strokes of dagger, take the place of middle stroke a little. Okay, I think I see what he's trying to say there. I don't want to mix the 2 up, so yeah, so this is like, yeah, that's a little dagger, and then stuck in the ground, there's 2 little drops of red blood. Red ground, red dagger, red saber, red blood. And then what he's mentioning, when you see it in sometimes you'll see it like with the little top hat. Top hat, there's a little saber, or I'm sorry, there's a little saber, top hat there. There's a little peg leg or the umbrella stand, and then there's 2 little drops of red blood. So when you see it like this, it's apple. Let me shrink this down. Okay, got somebody saying hello. So tasoiru konnichiwa. Oh, hello. Hopefully this is fun. We're in the middle of the lesson. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's apple. Next kanji. What do we got next? Okay, now we have is apple and stilts or walking. So this is unusual. I think you can imagine if we're using stilts again. I like to use that as Gandalf, but you can use stilts like you know, an apple on walking stilts. So there used to be a commercial series called Fruit of the Loom, and then they had a character acting like the apple. Another guy you could say instead of apple if you want to use the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah, the guy, the jug of Kool-Aid always busting through the walls of brick walls of things. If you want to do that for apple, you can do that as well. But anyway, what we want to do is unusual. But anyway, so this is unusual. Could mean to change something. Could mean strange. Now this, you don't want to confuse this with, it's not usual. I'm trying to make sure. Let's see. That's hen, which is strange. Yeah, you don't want to confuse this with, so this is hen, unusual. Okay, yeah, so this is hen. It sometimes can mean changing of something, but usually they use a different kanji for that, and then also strange. So here we have is hen, strange, odd, peculiar, or suspicious. Kaeru and kawaru means to change as well. Different type of change. Has a different flavor when you do kawaru. Here we have is henka. Change, variation, alteration. There is also, let's see, hen. We have is ihen. First word. Accident or disaster. Taihen. Very, greatly, immense. Taihen. Enormous. Something important is happening. Yeah, dreadful. Taihen. Yeah, that's something dreadful happened. Also, I think this is the hen of hentai, or the pervert. Hinjin, pervert. Okay, so here's a picture of Fruit of the Loom. So this I don't like to use right now because most people probably are not old enough to remember this commercial from the early 80s. So instead of this, I'll what I'll say is, okay, if you remember the Lord of the Rings, the first movie, it was kind of unusual. You never noticed, like, imagine instead of, but it was like Strider or the King. Great, I forgot his name already. But yeah, so how am I forgetting his name? Okay, but yeah, Viggo Mortensen's character was walking. He looked back. It was like, it was very unusual. Why has everyone stopped? And he saw that the hobbits are sitting down eating, are getting ready for breakfast. He's saying, no, it's no time for breakfast. We already had breakfast, but this is second breakfast. Okay, so I say that's too unusual. No, we got to eat usual. So, and then maybe at this time also, instead of it being Strider that's throwing the apples at him, it's Gandalf that's throwing the apples at the hobbits to tell them that, hey, just eat while you're walking. That could be the walking, like eat apples while you're walking, because it's too unusual to stop. You know, the area they're in is too unusual or weird. Okay, but anyway, apple and stilts. You also imagine the Kool-Aid man on stilts was a very unusual sight because isn't he too big for stilts or walking legs? Okay, so anyway, here we have red, pardon. Here's unusual, apple and walking legs. Anyway, so I was thinking of unusual. I'm just going to think of the unusual scene in The Lord of the Rings where the apples were tossed. Apples. Do this together. Apple. Apples were tossed at the hobbits. Tell them to keep walking, or keep with the. Or tell them about get walking because they have to go meet Gandalf, so they have to eat on the way. It's too unusual. It's very unusual to stop for second breakfast or third, or whatever it is after lunch. If you remember that scene. Okay, next kanji. Color. Now this is later on. I'm going to refer to this as Rubik's Cube. But anyway, so this is color, and early on they say it's called mosaic, and I'll show you that. But yeah, this is literally is color. I mean, there's really no way around. Iro, color, complexion, appearance, the look of something. So, chairo, kiniro, gold color, giniro, silver color. You know, you usually say something, add the iro after it. You know, even it could also be referring like nezumi iro is mouse color, so gray. Budou iro, murasaki is different. But okay, so anyway, so we have is second word, Genshoku, primary color. Tokushoku, first word, characteristic, feature, personal color. Bushoku, the looking for a particular person or thing, searching high and low. Okay. And then we have is shikisai, color, hue, or tints. It's also shikisa, color component. Shikicho, colored heading, synesthesia, colored hearing. Okay. Oh, so what you hear is seen as colors. That's kind of cool. Shichicho, color tone. Shokuyoku. I'm not seeing a word for it. Okay, gonna ignore that. Probably should have been probably Shikiyoku, and they just gave the wrong word for it. It's supposed to be Shikiyoku. Okay, so this is color. Good. Now it's gonna say bound up in a Rubik's Cube are 6 different colors. I think it's because I use mosaic as a Rubik's Cube. I think I use this more like a hand grasping a Rubik's Cube. Well, let's go down here. So anyway, so here we have is usual, tracks, barbarian, romance, golf, yellow, color we'll learn later, sideways, mosaic. Okay, so just to make sure about mosaic, let me show you a little picture of it. And this is why it's good. Never be afraid to, like, if you're doing this on your own, to use Google as your friend. Okay, so let's do images for mosaic. Okay, so these are mosaics right here. So this is kind of like for a mosaic. What I was using for images was like a Rubik's Cube, and then for the bound up for color is like a hand grasping Rubik's Cube, showing a separate each color the side of the face. So yeah, so this is mosaic. So let's treat that, and then we'll teach for color. Okay, so this is mosaic. So it looks like shaped like the original form of snake. So let's draw it first. Control Delete. Okay, so draw that. Drew the downward stroke. I think I did that right. Make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the leg. Okay, yeah, okay, and then the leg. So it's that one, then finally the leg. So this is mosaic. Now, when you see this in other kanji, I think of, usually I'm just thinking of as Rubik's Cube, all right, which is a mixed up Rubik's Cube, okay? So if it needs to be a Rubik's Cube, but one that's been mixed up, you know, a mosaic of colors, mixed up Rubik's Cube. Now we're going to do color. Now, for that one, I imagine is a child has that Rubik's Cube bound in its hand because it has solved it. He doesn't want it to mess up anymore, so he binds it in his hand. So he wants to bind up that Rubik's Cube. So let's do this for bind. Then we're going to bind up the Rubik's Cube. Bind up. And we'll do it one more time. Okay, and this is color. Because he's solved, so it's a color on each face is solved. Alright, he's solving, he's showing you that one solved face of a color. Now, usually if you're a kid, you'd probably, like, they only solved one face and didn't save the rest of it, but anyway, just assume it's a solved Rubik's Cube. It's bound up or gripping a Rubik's Cube, showing you the color, like the red color, the yellow color, because it's solved. And this right here is unsolved Rubik's Cube, solved Rubik's Cube. Okay, color. The color of a solved Rubik's Cube. Period. Now this is not female period, this is a period of time, date, or term. So let's see. It says right here, ki, period of time, a geological age, I suppose. Okay. Kikan, the second word, period, term, or interval. Kitai, expectation, anticipation, hope. Yoki, expectation, assume. So it's here expecting a time. Okay. Saigo, we want the second word. One last moment, one's time of death. Oh, that's sad. Okay. Let's see. Kono kini onyonde. Kono kini onyonde. Okay, I don't know what that is. So, all right. So here we're going to see is like for the kanji, it's like what we're going to learn is bushel and moon. And let's go back and we'll go back to the story. So So here we have the stroke order. So it's the last kanji, so we can spend a little bit of time. So okay, so we have mosaic, we have grasp, color, discontinue. Yeah, so that's probably wrong. I don't say grasping a Rubik's Cube, I say solved. Okay, glossy, fertilizer. Now we have is sweet. Kind of looks like 20, but with the extra stroke. And then navy blue, so-and-so, conspire, mediator. Now we learn bushel basket. This is what we want. Okay. So, in fact, it kind of visually looks like a bushel basket, so that should make it even easier. This is its own kanji, but we're not going to worry about it. I mean, this is the, if you ever heard of sore, this is this, or kore. Let's see, is it sore? I think it's sore, so this. It is, that is the kanji for it. In fact, let me make sure. I can do that. Control Shift, sore. Yeah, it is the, it'll be, it's the original form, it's the kanji used for sore, this, or I'm sorry, that, sore is that, sono, that one. Alright, so let's do it real quick. So it's going to look like a bushel basket. So you do, there's the handle of the basket, then we need the two sides of it. There's the two sides of the bushel basket, and then there's the thatching or the weaving of the basket. You got that. Okay. And then of course you need the bottom of the basket because you got to hold stuff, right? I think it was that. And then of course you need the basket to stand up because you're going to be putting stuff in it. And be the two low legs. Let me make sure I got that right. I probably screwed that up. Yeah, so you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so that's bushel. Or a bushel basket. That's a bushel basket right there. Bushel basket. A big basket, not a small basket. Big basket. Okay, so now we want to do is a period of time. So a period of time is like, imagine if every time a month, you want to think a period of time, think of a month passing of time. So if you ever read the book Roots, Kuta Kinte had a habit of taking a pebble. Every full moon he would take a pebble and put it into his bushel basket. And so he can always, and every once in a while he'd pour out the basket and count the stones, and he can tell what his age is just by that. So yeah, so period of time. So, or you could say like it's a period of which time it takes to fill one bushel basket with in 1 month. How many bushel baskets are you filling in a month's time? And that could be a bushel month. Okay, I'm probably stretching this a little too far. So anyway, there's the two little strokes. I want to do these a little obvious. There's two little strokes. We'll do that, and then we'll do the two little legs. And then finally, there's the bushel basket. It's a period of time to fill a bushel. How many? And then we're done. Do month. And that could be a moon or a month. Okay. So it's a period of bushels is a period of time to fill in 1 month. Moonstones, maybe. Time it takes okay, maybe it's after, there are different ways you can think of the story. So what are we doing here? All bushel baskets on the farm are filled in 1 month, a basic period of time it takes to complete the harvest. Okay, bushel baskets. How many bushel? Yeah, so it's there's a month's period, then we have a bushel period, which is how many bushels can you fill in 1 month, and that 1 bushel is a bushel period, bushel basket period. Okay, that should be it. Let's see how much time. Okay, so I took an hour to go over this entire lesson. Oh, he deleted it. Why did he do that? Tasueru deleted the message. Okay. Yeah. All he said was hello. Alright, so that took an hour, and that is the end of the lesson. So if you enjoyed this video, consider liking it. We'll be moving on to lesson 35. You'll either do it the next lesson, or you'll wait till tomorrow, or however you're doing if you're watching this in the future, which a majority of you will be watching this in the future as opposed to right now. I hope. And I know what's going to happen is that those that start watching these videos are never going to, a majority are never going to finish. I can only imagine the amount of willpower it takes to sit through 30 hours of listening to me meander about all this crazy shit, but who knows. But yeah, we'll be moving. We've got another 45 kanji left, 35, 36, 37, and then I'll be moving on to my primary lessons, but I'll be generating or creating videos in the future relating to Tai Kim's grammar basic, and also the basic 500 vocabulary words that I introduced with Core 2K, 6K optimized. So that should be fun as well. Okay, so let's go. So that was an hour. So I'll tell you what, let's look at something, because I know I got some reviews I need to do as well. I'm going to look at my time. Come on. Okay, so here's my time. And then down here is in the last 60 days, it tells me how much time I've put on. So right here, if we go to remember the kanji, and this is saying 27 hours, 41 minutes, 14 seconds. So yeah, so by the time the next 3 lessons are done, this should be at the 30-hour mark. And this should be a good representation of the length of time the video is taken, because this is all within the last 60 days. The Zettai Kireshi, I think I completed in the last 60 days, so that was a total of 23 hours. That includes the review time I've spent on it. This right here does not include any review time, but your review time is about, I want to say about 1/5 your study time. Whatever time you have to do to study, about 1/5 of that is going to be dedicated to all the total reviews you need to do later on as time goes on. As you approach the 60-day or the 6-month mark. You know, when something has a time or a spacing of 30 days, it's definitely in your long-term memory. But you're aiming for that 6-month mark, and that's when you gotta memorize. We might have to play some games or whatnot. All right, so if you're just joining, I just finished up with the lesson, and I'm just kind of looking over some stats real quick about how long I been doing with these courses in the last 30 days, last 60 days. Looks like the last 30 days I've had 60 hours of lessons. A lot of that is dedicated because of this, again, this remembering the kanji thing that I've been doing. So it's been roughly about 2-3 hours a day of streaming. You can even see that with the time there. And again, getting very close to when I started this whole thing. Right there. That's I spent a lot of when I started this. I spent a lot of time prior to that getting the spreadsheets ready or prepped. I have to prep spreadsheets to put them in a usable format so I can copy paste them into the Memrise. Then of course there's all that time you got to spend loading up audio, which is, God, that's annoying. But again, it's a payment. I consider it like paying ahead of time, and it's not for my benefit. I'm doing this for the benefit of others. I do believe in that, and I'm getting a little bit of a thrill out of that. So that's why I enjoy feedback. So if you do get something out of this, you know, if you can offer feedback, especially on a public forum, so other people can see it and say, okay, yeah, people will go after something they find that other people have used and benefited from. Okay, so I've got, let's see, I'm at the 2-hour 30 mark. It's almost 4 p.m. here. Let me do a refresh of these two things. In addition to, let's go to the forums. Close that out. Got some unread. Let's see, Italian calendar, different questions, wrong words, behave, nothing for Japanese. What is a learning event? Okay, dismiss all that. Latest. Alright, and then let's see what mumble, if anything happened. Alright, some conversations was happening. No, it was a long conversation. Okay. Yeah. Man, they were really talking. See, I started around 2 o'clock, right? Yeah, I started around 2 o'clock, and yeah, no questions for me. So there you go. Yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Newest submissions. That's saying the same thing. Let's see what Sheets Monday thread is. Can anyone tell me the lyrics in this song? Or then why is he calling me out? Let's see, Nick Marine, please. That would be a very bad person to ask. I'm not a very good translator. In fact, like I said, my level is not even, I wouldn't even put it above being 3 for right now. Okay, that's why he gave me a way Reddit works. Like if you get a name mention, you get a notification. Alright, there's a, there's nothing new here. Let's get back to the grind. Okay. So, I'm not learning anything new. These are all reviews. And I think it's about 50 reviews for... Holy crap, look at that. God damn, what the hell? I just got a boom, 284 reviews all at once. And 47 reviews here. Okay, it looks like, God damn. I wonder what happened. Did I skip something? This is Wow. Let's see. Wow. It's not showing here. Okay. Alright, we'll go back one. Alright, well, okay, so review that, do that, and do these. Alright, let's do this in order. This should be fun. Yeah, we got a half hour to get through these anyway.
今晩のパーティーは何時からですか？
今晩のパーティーは何時からですか？今晩のパーティーは何時からですか？ So we're going to do 4 of these. ご飯half day, 半月 no 半日
半
That's
日。
3. That's the
昼
fourth.
食に寿司を食べました。
昼食に寿司を食べました。昼食に寿司を食べました。Alright, that should be good. Let's
今夜
pause.
は月がとても綺麗です。
Save and exit. Okay. Okay. Let's do this one real quick. Kigyo.
企業、
Okay. Next. Okay. Alright, let's do 7 of these. I'll probably mess it up and do more than that, but 7 of these.
できる。
お家できる？
なんとなく
こんなもん入れんだ。お家できる？こんなもん入れんだ。なんとなく。
それはね、
それは
食べると
ね、
笑顔になっちゃう魔法がかかってるから。
食べると笑
これ全部。
顔。OK。それはね、食べると笑顔になっちゃう。笑顔、魔法がかかってるからだぞ。やめて。OK。This is the second one.
そうだな。
そうだな。そうだな。
シュー生地は OK。
これで。
あとは
シュー生地、それ、シュー生地、これで、シュー生地、わあ、OK、生地。That's the fourth one. There we are. Paul. I'm doing 7. I gotta do 7.
焼き上がるのを待つだけです。
あとは、焼き上げるのを待つだけです。あとは、焼き上がるのを待つだけです。待つだけです。6. No, that's the fifth
じゃ
one.
あ至急探しますね。
頼む。
次の真あなた、至急下げますね。次の真あなた、至急、immediately, 至急下げますね。至急。Okay, are you using, okay, XZY, are you using memorize? No, never mind, just read the description. Okay, yeah, this is memorize. Okay. 次の真あなた、至急下げますね。頼む。There's the 頼む again, and trust.
あまりジロジロ見ないでください。
あんまりジロジロ見な
やり
いでください
づらい。です。
You might tell somebody not stop staring. Jiro miru na. Don't stare. Miru na. あんまりジロジロ見ないで。あんまりジロジロ見ないでください。Okay?
ないです。
何これ。オレンジリキュール。
Okay, we're at 40. Okay. Go back here. Okay, so I'm going to do 20 and 20. Actually, let's do home. Alright. Let me get this out of the way. Bring this back up.
昨日タイカレーを食べました。
Alright, and XZI, if you're still watching, and I'll say I'll answer any questions you have because I'm doing the review portion now. I'm not like teaching or anything or making a specific recording for later on or archive for a later purpose. So again, if you've got any questions about the course or what I'm doing or anything in general, no problem. 食べる。
昨日タイカレーを食べました。
昨日タイカレーを食べました。昨日タイカレーを食べました。Alright, P... Blah, 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 blah. Oh, that seems like a lot of decks in parallel. I am not learning in parallel. I'm actually learning... Each one is an individual course, right? So what you're happening, though, is reviews happen in parallel. But the learning happens course by course. So I don't go to another course till I finish the previous one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, don't do course decks in parallel. The idea is this course is designed to be structured, so it's like it's not like some people do, like they're learning 10,000 vocabulary words and they're learning 2,000 kanji and learning like the entire book of grammar and whatever else. It's like, okay, not doing that. So it's split into definite segments to help make it easier to learn faster. Okay, during the daytime, should be hiruma.
夕方雨が降りました。
夕方雨が降りました。Is it snowing? I think it's snowing outside. Snowing a lot. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I just looked outside. It's like I saw the clouds were building up, but it looks like it's a... Okay, and somebody's asking, am I studying for fun or for the JLP? I'm doing this mainly for fun, but what I'll be doing is like in like February and August is I'll be taking the JCAT, which is free and you can do it almost any time, but you have to wait at least 6 months between tests. And I might, even though they say don't, I'm probably going to stream my test of the JCAT just for future reference. Okay, anyway, let me get this real quick.
夕方雨が降りました。
夕方雨が降りました。夕方雨が降りました。There's furu. 夕方。
また会いましょう。
また会いましょう。会う。また会いましょう。また会いましょう。That's meet up with a nice lady. You might want to say this line to her. Yeah.
私はパンよりご飯が好きだ。
私はパンよりご飯が好きです。好きだ。パンよりご飯。私はパンよりご飯が好きです。
昼間は仕事で忙しいです。
昼間は仕事が忙しいです。はじめ。はじめ。
はじめ。
Because it's a noun.
今
Otherwise
夜
it's
は
はじめ
月がとても綺麗です。
今夜は月がとても綺麗です。今夜は月がとても綺麗です。高さ。And the biggest thing you probably saw if you've seen this compared probably to quite a few others is the anyone who uses Core 2K 6K is the presence of all these audio clips is really it's what sets this out from the crowd. I mean, there's nothing really amazing about the vocabulary list. In fact, it's not the most optimal vocabulary list. However, I have optimized it, and plus the audio clips are the only reason I keep referring to these, or I've even made this course using Core 2K 6K.
そばにいてください。
そばにいてください。そば。そばにいてください。Okay, so that's 270. So do one more of these. Go back to ban, yoru, yugata. Yugata.
夕方。
夕方。
私は昼のドラマを毎日見ます。
All right. Yeah, right now for the streams, my streams have been kind of at awkward or random times. Because I wake up, I've been wasting too much time on Reddit anyway, reading all the political shit, and I should stop doing that and just, like I used to, I'd start at 8 a.m. It was always at a consistent time, at least Japan time. You know, if you miss the live streams, there's not too much on because there's not too much conversation or questions. And if you ask any questions, you know, put a question in a comment, I'm going to answer it, most likely.
私は昼のドラマを毎日見ます。
私は昼のドラマを毎日見ます。And I do recommend when you do these, repeat a lot, repeat everything. Repeat everything. Get practice to speaking. All right, and then when you later on when you start talking to native people, if you get that option, you can do that. Now, another thing you do is like have yourself reading off links of text and record that and maybe submit that to Lang 8. Have someone like critique your speaking style.
昨日の夜は家にいました。
昨日の夜は家にいました。昨日の夜は家にいました。ちょっと。ちょっと待ってください。
7時に朝ごはんを食べました。
7時に朝ごはんを食べました。朝ごはん。
ちょっとだけ待っていてください。
ちょっとだけ待ってください。ちょっとだけ待ってください。ちょっとだけ待ってください。ちょっと待って。
母と電話で話しました。
母と電話で話しました。母と電話で話しました。今夜。
今夜。
今夜。こちら。こちら。I know it was like you're probably thinking Coco, like here. This is Cochita. God damn it, it is Coco. Mother.
Coco.
I was probably thinking Kochi. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
Coco.
Coco. I should have known better. Cochita is actually different kanji. Soba. Soba. Now, soba has different meanings. It's also a food, but that's the soba they want.
Soba.
Soba. Koko.
Koko.
Koko no rori wa mazui. Koko. I guess I could have cheated. I kind of cheat if I am not gonna. And that's fine. You know, again, occasional miss out of however many reviews is not a problem. These are not difficult for my level right now. In fact, people make comments that this is below my level, and I admit that. These are words I learned like 10 years ago, and also technically I learned it again about 5 or 6 years ago when I was trying to get back into learning Japanese, and then I had stopped. And then 6 years, then of course in May I started again. And you know, you do keep a lot of stuff in memory and whatnot. So these go faster. I will be, by the time May passes around and I finish all 12 of these courses and I have to go into the intermediates, that's when it's going to be noticeably different. Okay. Yes, Cochita is this way. I was thinking Kochi, like Coco and Kochi. That's why. It's here as well. So the reason why I said no tsu is like I was thinking Kochi, and that made me think of Cochita. That's how I got mixed it up. Anyway.
Sumeru.
Sumeru. And
Hitotsu hitotsu.
Hitotsu hitotsu. And what you'll find out for these Zettai Kureshi courses, if you've never done these before, I actually created a vocabulary list and separated those vocabulary lists into 4-minute segments as well. So it's 4-minute segments of learning drama, lines from the drama, audio lines from the drama, from the subtitles, and then but also the new vocabulary for each of those 4 minutes, which probably makes it a lot. You know, again, it's better than what some people would do. They put all the vocabulary, like they scan the entire book of Harry Potter, and then they give you this list of like 500 to, or actually maybe like 1,500 vocabulary words that are used in Harry Potter that might be at your level or above your level. You don't know. You know, do you want to learn? You know, spend all the time to learn 1,500 words before you read it, and then. But anyway, that's a reason why I thought, hey, you know what? Split it into smaller segment, bite-sized chunks, and make it a little easier to figure out. Give you learn 4 minutes at a time.
何言っちゃってんだろうな俺。
何言っちゃってんだろう俺。だろうな俺。何言っちゃったんだろう。何言っちゃってんだろうな。何言っちゃったんだろうな俺。
ねえリーコ、今日は日曜だしお昼食べたらデートしようか。
お昼食べたらデートしよう。OK。ねえリーコ、今日は日曜だしお昼食べたらデートしようか。今日は日曜だ。
じゃあカスタードクリーム作りましょうか。
じゃあカスタードクリームを作りましょうか。じゃあカスタードクリームを作りましょうか。
はいです。
何これ。
やりづらいです。ジロジロあんまりジロジロ見ないでください。やりづらいです。You have a づらい difficult。やりづらいです。
あれって何の絵なんですか？
あれって何の絵なんですか？あれって Hear that again。
あれって何の絵なんですか？
あれって何の絵なんですか？何の絵なんですか？
はい、失礼します。
はい、失礼します。シュークリーム作れませんけど。
いつですか？今さっきだけど。
それいつですか？今さっきだけど。Just now。
見ちゃったんですよ。
何のことだ。You hear that again。
ことだよ。
見ちゃったんですよ。
何のことだ。I should delete that because you can't hear the audio. And again, because the subtitles, sometimes the timing on the subtitles is not completely lined up to what the audio is on the show. But it's does for the most part.
はい、返さなきゃ。
やばい。返さなきゃ。I have to return this. 返さなきゃ。返す。In fact, it says there. 返さなきゃ。やばい。返さなきゃ。
ジロジロ。
ジロジロ見るな。ジロジロ。It's a nice word. これ全部食べていいんだぞ。Can't even hear that. これ全部食べていいんだぞ。
味だったんですか？
そんな味だったんですか？どんな味だったんですか？どんな味だったんですか？
じいちゃんのシュークリームはなんで美味しいの？
それはね。
じいちゃんのシュークリームはなんで美味しいの？それで。食べた側の、じいちゃんのシュークリームはなんで美味しいの？帰りよ。
いいかソシ。ケーキは一つ一つ。
いいかソシ。
すみません。外れてましたね。
外れて。
おかえり。
すみません。外れてましたね。
なんとなくいつも入れてるだけです。
なんとなくいつも入れてるだけです。For some reason なんとなくいつも入れてるだけです。
食べてみろ。
はい、食べてみろ。
じいちゃんのシュークリームは
じいちゃんのシュークリームなんで美味しい？ Alright, so there we go. Got 20 reviews left. Okay, do these. Half. 半分。
夜中に電話がありました。
夜中に電話がありました。夜中 夜中に電話がありました。G。
じ。
G。私 or 私。
朝食に納豆を食べました。
朝食に納豆を食べました。So 朝ごはん and 朝食に納豆を食べました。納豆。Alright, so here's the cocoa. Oh, yeah, here's the kochi. Almost. Kochi. Yeah, so that's the reason why I messed up there. I was thinking kochira. You are correct, it is this way. 覚える。Alright, so let's see. I got a comment from EXO.
毎日散歩をします。
Comment from XAL James. I'm studying Japanese using various resources, and I would always see them mention pick Jackson from time to time. I've gathered basic knowledge on this concept, but is it really that important? What is important is how you pronounce something, whether it's like monogatari or monogatari, and so I guess you could play on that, but only way I do it is I'm not very good with reading pitch accents. So what I do is I just copy what I hear, and so that's why I included all these audio clips in this. It's not about reading. I don't include pitch accents. Now I do have, if you go to the website, if you go to here, Suggested Guide for Japanese Drama, Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy on the Kanji Akugi forums, and down here I have is this right here under overall material. You'll see right here, remembering the kanji spreadsheet, Taikim spreadsheets. So go here, core 2K, 6K, 10K spreadsheet. If you download that, I think in there's a column for pitch accents, which it does include that in the spreadsheet. I don't include it on Memrise itself. And if you know if you understand how to use that, then by all means, please do so. I just don't know how to use it myself. I just go off. I hear the word, and I just try to mimic it. Is a good word. Mimicking it. Hopefully that makes sense.
私たちは毎日散歩をします。
Now there is a guy named Dogen who does a lot of humorous YouTube videos.
ここから富士山がよく見えます。
Dogen does a lot of humorous YouTube videos. However, on his Patreon page, he does more private videos, but it deals with teaching pitch accents. Because when he first learned Japanese, he used pitch accents were really important, and so he claims that his Japanese sounds very natural, and I believe hearing it from other people, yeah, his Japanese does sound very natural. That's another way if you want to go that route. I just personally prefer mimic what I hear. Like I said, I can't really read notes I can't look at a music and sing that song based on the music notes that I'm reading. I have to hear it and then I'll mimic it. So I guess it's like Nodame Kentabire, like the way she learned. She had to hear it first and then no problem. So same with pitch accents. I can't see pitch accents, a little number there, and then know what the hell how to talk with it. I have to hear it. Okay.
ここから富士山がよく見えます。
ここから富士山がよく見えます。 It is snowing. ここから富士山がよく見えます。食べる。
食べる。
食べる。Okay. Cool. Do one more of these. We're reaching the 3-hour mark, so we're probably gonna call the stream quits after this one.
初めはうまくできませんでした。
初めはうまくできませんでした。So this is true about anything. At the start, you're not very good at doing it.
私は絵を見るのが好きです。
私は絵を見るのが好きです。絵を見るのが好きです。
今朝、テレビでそのニュースを知りました。
今朝、テレビでそのニュースを見ました。So I saw it on the news this morning. 今朝、テレビでそのニュースを知りました。知りました。not 見ました。
こっちに来てください。
こっちに来てください。 こっちに切ってください。見つかる。should be 見つかる。見つめる。見つかる。見つめる。使った。I don't think it's 見つめる。見つける。すける。すかる。It should be 見つかる。
見つかる。
Which is 見つける means you find it.
これからは
So that's the
もっ
transitive
と
form.
気をつけます。
これからはもっと気をつけます。And これからもっと気をつけます。気をつける。つける。
夕べ流れ星を見ました。
夕べ流れ星を見ました。夕べ流れ星を見ました。夕べowl. Now there's different owls here. There's this type of owl. This is like meeting for a tryst or a love affair. This is like meeting by accident, guzanata. This is owl, just meeting, chance meeting, and it's just and the flavor, the term that they're trying to get across is based on the kanji. So it's not something you can speak, or it's something you can read, which I think is cool about the Japanese language. 朝食。朝食。
郵便局で切手を買いました。
郵便局で切手を買いました。切手 stamps or ticket. Yeah. 郵便局で切手を買いました。郵便局 Next. Okay. So that does it for that. We're at the 3-hour mark. So I'll tell you what, I'll end it right there. Alright, so I got a lot of reviews to do for these. 240 just bam, 240 just all, or 267 of them just all at once. Okay, here you go, dropped right in your lap. Okay, it's like a big fuck you for Memorize, which really it's my fault, because probably what happened is I reviewed a lot at once. Like I just grinded a bunch over like a 2 or 3 hour period, and then so obviously when the time comes in the when the reviews, this is what's going to happen. So it's nothing bad, it's just a nature of the beast. In fact, if I look at it, I'll probably see what was it going to be? Coco? Come on. Yeah, so probably somewhere around maybe here. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so you got some things that are in 3 days. These are coming up soon or whatnot. So yeah, these are mainly like they're at the point where they're actually going to be at 6 months of till I get to see them again. So that's no problem there. And that's just the nature of the review system. So depend on the review system. Don't let the reviews that build up scare you. It's a good thing. And always don't do what I'm doing. Don't do reviews last. Always do your reviews first. Then let's say you got 2 hours of time, or an hour a day, or half hour a day, whatever. You got a set time per day of learning and reviewing. Review first. Use all that time that you can to get the reviewing done. Then whatever time you have remaining, you use that to learn something new. All right. If you got no time left, you still got stuff to review, stop. Wait till the next day. Continue your reviews. If the time passes of what you're studying, stop. Go the next day. Continue your reviews. This is a good way. This will balance out. Your times of reviewing and learning will balance out to about a 2 to 1. You'll have to spend twice as much. You'll have like 20 minutes of learning, of reviewing, and then 40 minutes of learning. Or you'll have an hour of reviewing and then 2 hours of learning. Something like that. It will be kind of like a 1 to 2. It should balance out that. It might even be better than that, depending on how fast you can review. And don't skip the reviews. The reviews are going to help. That's like keeping what you learn, because you spend a lot of time learning something, you need to keep it, and you always need to push forward. So like XZL games, if you're saying you're using various methods, what you're probably doing accidentally is you keep moving sideways. Like you keep studying the same stuff in different ways. You're not moving forward, you're just moving sideways. Now you might be reinforcing what you know, but you're not making headway. So that's kind of the benefit of the way I've got this set up. It's like, okay, here's hiragana. Just spend 3 hours, you're done. Move to katakana. All right, use hiragana to learn katakana. Good, you're done. Here's 555 kanji. Don't worry about anything else. Just learn these kanji. Don't worry about the pronunciation or words that use it. All right, once you're done, good, move on. Now here's some grammar. It's going to have some vocabulary. It's going to have some grammar points. You know, when you get those, go. Now you move on to vocabulary. All right, get those out, those 500 vocabulary words, those 500 example sentences to help train your listening and your speaking and your talking. All right, and once those are done, move on to grammar and then hear it. So keep pushing forward. All right, and hear it. These, don't try to do all these at once at the same time. Reviewing happens at the same time, sure. That I'll do in parallel, but for learning, just keep pushing forward. Trust in the system that you're actually, whether it's Genki, Japanese the manga way, or Japanese the living language, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So I'm trying to design this course to be for people who are motivated to self-study. However, also got the benefit is that Memrise needs to. I wish Memrise would give me an ability to talk to these people, but if you look at the members, this is 735 people are part of the study group for this course, and they're all on different areas of this of here. Now I'm at let's say over here in number 8. Remember the kanji. So that's me here along with Aculum and Juniper D. So we're like probably one of the more advanced people in this so currently in the course. Now some people are studying ahead of it, all right, but ultimately you look here, you can see like this is how people did for the week. Let's say in the month, people are going to be ahead of me right now, but let's go, come on. Or not. Okay, there we go. So now we got the month. This is how people have done in a month's time, and then all time. Come on. All right, so and you see how, you know, there's a couple of us that have really gone through and like not only have we learned the material, but we, you know, because of the reviews or something, our scores have built up. But don't let the scores be the thing that stops you. But you can always see that there's someone at your level and how they're doing, so you can kind of compete against them in your mind. And maybe later with hopefully later Memrise will have a way to where you can talk to these people, like say Adam, and you know, so you can actually talk and say, hey, you know, how's your studying going? Be like a nice little communication group, and you can do that because that helps as well. All right, I need to finish S20, but I'll do that offline. Yeah, so there's all. This is a really I'll put it this way. If I started doing Duolingo with Spanish, and because of what I saw with Spanish, I was having some issues with trying to retain the vocabulary words, and I knew Anki would do much better. All right, and then, so I was making my own little vocabulary list, but then Duolingo's went and made it to where I couldn't make those anymore because they got rid of the vocabulary list. Because they used to have it where you can access the dictionary and you see what the vocabulary was done per lesson, but now you couldn't do that. And when I found out someone had made a Memrise course of the vocabulary for Duolingo, so look, that got me into Memrise. And then when I saw what Memrise could offer, I remembered I wanted to make something for Memrise, but using the Japanese courses I was doing on Anki that I created for Anki, and so that's led me to creating this, and then it got me into getting back into Japanese, about not only teaching Japanese but learning it as well, getting back to the level I want to be, where I was like 8 years ago when I had effectively stopped studying Japanese, you know, for the most part, you know. So yeah, I was like up to an N3 level, and then I just basically gave up or quit. You know, I lived in Japan, but I was on a military base, and so my skills degraded. They degraded slowly, but they still degraded. And now I need to get it back up to where they were 8 years ago, and then go beyond that. You know, get the equivalent of the N2 or the N1 or beyond. Okay. So anyway, that's the reason why I got all this on there. And so some of it's personal, some of it's just a feeling of I like to have other people learn Japanese in a way that I find is effective. And that's where this all comes about. It's not perfect, but I think it's about the best damn thing you're going to find. If Duolingo had ever created if Duolingo ever created a course, it would be similar. I would think it would not even be comparable to this. This would be superior to that. And Duolingo is a damn good website, and they present language in a damn good way. And this is very superior. This is completely superior to the Japanese course that Memrise. Yeah, I would. Yes, it's arrogant to say, but I say this course I have is superior to this completely. Just the hiragana and katakana, just that alone is superior, because they just teach you Yeah, I think, yeah, they teach hiragana very slowly anyway, but, and they, you know, again, when you go to these lessons, they only explain what you're just doing the courses, but you're not being explained why. They're not explaining, you know, okay, why is this being said that way, or why are you even bothering? There's no lecture here, and that's where Tai Kim, and it's not me giving the lecture, it's Tai Kim. So if I come here, and I go right here, lesson 21, this is Tai Kim lesson 21 right here. Alright, and this is the course he created, and I'm just presenting it to people. Alright, so if you know, slowly go through here, you know, once you're done with this, you can actually go on, and then there's the vocabulary, the new vocabulary for this lesson, and then there's the, here are the example sentences for that lesson. You know, that's all I'm presenting here. There's nothing, no secrets here. It's drawn from material I did not create. I just put it together in a way that I think that gives the most efficient way of learning Japanese, both how to literacy and fluency, both listening fluency, and reading literacy. All right. So anyway, so that's the 3 hours. Let's get a little bit of 3 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this video or this stream, consider liking the video. If you're finding this, of course, is effective, please share it with people. Either the video or also the memorized courses. On the subreddit, you know, I'm visiting there almost on a daily basis now. So Learn Japanese subreddit. In fact, let me delete this right now. So I post here when I'm about to go stream. So I don't know if you're able to like do kind of like a feed. I guess there's a way where you can get a notification if I post somewhere. So it might be a way you can say, hey, is there a notification if I post to this? Or I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Here we have is Tarako Kuchibiru. Kuchibiru. Okay. Tarako Kuchibiru. Okay, sorry. English is very, very hard. Yes. English is, I think, much harder than Japanese. Our rules are so, the way we use the language is so random and chaotic at times. It's just, it cannot be, everywhere you have, there's always an exception, it seems, for that. For Japanese, there's almost very few exceptions to the rules. It does happen with slang. You can't really categorize slang in that, but at least with a written language, when it's not in a very casual but not super casual slang form, it's very structured and easy to learn in a structured manner. Tarako Kuchibiru. Then Kuchibiru is lips or something. Did I delete that? Yeah. So let's go refresh. Alright, so this is Saturday. I'll be back on tomorrow, January 15th. It will be finishing lessons 35 and 36. Depending on how I feel, I might even finish it. I'll probably keep it at the same level because I'm hesitant to, yeah, I'll keep it to the same level. So I'll just do 35, 36, and I'll do one on Monday and then start catching up with these reviews. Because while I have a lot, I'm going to do at least one lesson, then do reviews, and if there's any time left, and then I'll maybe do another lesson depending on how I feel. But, yep. Start kicking ass. And also on Monday and Wednesdays I'll have a college class, and then of course I have to do any of the assignments for the college. I'll have to be doing those. Probably those are going to be usually research papers. That's normally what they do. Alrighty. So again, thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow. Bye bye.